Miami. An Odyssey Sports Station. The home of Joe Rose with Hollywood, Tobin and Leroy, and Hot Crowder and Solana. South Florida Sports lives here.
Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys.
Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
In Miami at a Domino's game, you'll always find your abuelito. And wherever you want a low price, you save with your Pricito. Save now with your Pricito at Doral Kia. Carolina Hurricanes scored in overtime, winning 4-3 against the Vegas Golden Knights. The Stanley Cup Final is tied at 1 with Game 3 tomorrow at 8. The Knicks and Spurs play tonight at 8:30 in the NBA Finals with New York up 1-0. The Rays come to town looking to end a 4-game road losing streak as the Marlins will face them tonight at 7:10. Ryan Gusto will start for the Fish. This weather report is brought to you by Tornado Roofing and Contracting, replacing roofs, roof repairs, maintenance, and hurricane impact windows and doors. Visit tornadoroofing.com. Temperatures rising to the mid-80s, overcast skies, and a chance of rain throughout. I am Dan Day. It is time now for the Joe Rose Show here on 104.3 FM WQAM.
Well, good Friday morning to everybody out there, man. Always great having you. That voice you just heard all day, Dan Day with us. Woody's got the day off. The kids are now officially out of school, Broward and Dade County. And Dave Hyde from the Sun Sentinel's in with us here on a Friday, David. Always great to have you, my man. Appreciate
Great to be here,
in.
Joe. You got new headphones. I'm glad you're upgrading the studio for me.
You know what? I bought an extra pair when I was in California. I said, I'm tired. They disappear or they don't work and the whole deal. So, yeah. Hey, by the way, you know what today is? National Donut Day. I don't know if you smelled or saw the donuts.
Coming in. There are a couple bucks of donuts.
And by the way, I opened the box.
You've already gone into it, huh?
I looked into it, and I asked all day, okay, how long they been here? First question you got to ask. He said they came in for the afternoon show for Hawk and Channing and the guys. Solana up there. I said, okay, so that's a good start. And so I always look. So I start, as you know, I start in the morning. I went to Dunkin' Donut by the house and got my big boy coffee. They never mentioned the free donut. It's a free Dunkin' Donut with a beverage. And the Dunkin' Donut people.
I think they're doing you a favor, Joe.
Probably.
Can you imagine if you had a donut every day? Then
it would not be good.
You'd have to play another 20 minutes of tennis.
No, exactly. It would not be good. So Krispy Kreme's apparently giving a free donut today. You don't have to get a coffee or a beverage. And so it's National Donut Day. And I got to tell you, the smell of a donut is one of the great smells, along with the Cinnabon and the pretzel that you can get. It's one of the great smells.
When you say the smell, I don't know that they still do it. They probably don't. But this was years
You haven't been
ago.
in a mall for a while.
The Marlins, when they would win, I think by a certain number, Krispy Kreme would give out free donuts. And there on 160, on the way home at 167th, we'd stop, and it'd be bumper to bumper to get your free donuts.
Everybody
and
knew.
It just smelled like donuts. It was that was a scene.
That is funny. There was another great smell. Popeyes going down 441. I could smell about them. And I do like the Popeyes, man. I was a fast food junkie there for a while in my earlier days, and
I
starving.
Love Popeyes, yes, and it
I'm
smelled
glad you
so
said
good. And it smelled so
I'm glad
good.
you said that.
You walk in, it's perfect.
Popeyes and maybe the most powerful smell off the road that you can smell. I mean, you can have your windows up, the air conditioning on, and Popeyes makes its way into my car,
Right.
and I literally will flip around to go the other way. I go, all right, they got me. How long's the line?
There was a Popeyes across the street from the Marriott in New Orleans. Whenever I'd go there, and I would hit that every night.
Yeah,
it's terrible.
I'm guessing
terrible for my body.
Yeah, no. I'm guessing we're all guilty of that and all our favorites. I will say this: people go, "Aren't you glad you don't eat fast food as much?" And I go, "No, not really. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the fast food when I was eating it. I never said, wow, this is the last time I'm going to have." I have given up a lot of things and made changes, and you have to as we get older, and you keep your weight down and all those things that the doctor tells you. And I'm on a zillion pills as it is. But I always like that stuff. I'm not going, oh, the desserts, I don't like them. No, hell no. I like them all.
How about those French fries? The French fries. Love the
Come
French
on.
fries. Come on.
How are you going to get a burger and not French fries? Hell, how do you get a steak now? And they got great French fries. And yeah, anyway, we got going on the food here before we got into all the good stuff. David, we got so many great stories. And I know right now the Panthers and the Heat, which we're not used to this, are long gone when it comes to the playoffs. Hell, one team sort of made the playoffs. The other team did not make the playoffs. But we got a lot of stuff going on here. Marlins back home to take on the Rays for a 3-game series. And of course, tonight, this story with the Knicks, you and I were talking about it last night. I'm not a Knicks fan. I got wrapped up in the Heat Knicks in those great years, back and forth, those low-scoring, physical, technical, crazy games that we saw with Alonzo and all their guys, their big guys who were knocking our guys down, and we knocked their guys down, and the coaches got involved, and Gundy screaming at Riley. Those were great days. I mean, they were great stuff. So I'm not a huge Knicks fan, but I do appreciate, no matter who it is, whether it's the Dodgers or the Knicks, when you have a really good team, and the Knicks, one of the great stories, man, end up as a 3 seed in the East going into the playoffs. And there are a lot of people who ripped that team. They gave up too much for this guy to get that guy. This guy everywhere he goes. Listen, nobody's been ripped more than Karl Anthony Towns. Nobody. Soft, plays out, doesn't play like a big guy. All those things. And here they are doing something we've never seen before. 12 straight playoff wins, David. First of all, Jalen Brunson has turned into, you can put him right there at the top with the great closers. And I'm not putting him into the, the great Hall of Fame club of shooters yet. But he's been unbelievable. They've outscored. I'm not going to hit you with stats all morning. I hate doing that. But just they've outscored their opponents in the 12-game winning streak by 272 points. Dave, that's unbelievable.
What if they and they're not going to? I'm still sure the Spurs are going to win.
I think it's going to be 1-1.
But what if they do win in 6 or something, and they won would be 14 of 16 playoff games? It would be unheard of.
Yes.
Do we have to put them as the greatest?
You gotta put them up
with
there.
All the great teams.
You have to. Without all the great names that all the great teams have had. Yeah, but they've got to be up there if they keep this going. Now the one thing they've got going for them, they did it to the Cavs. Cavs had a 22-point lead late in that game, right, and they came back and beat them, and that was it. They were done. They got in their head, and that was done, and that was over. They were down 14 midway through the third quarter in game 1, and came back and won on the road. It's been unbelievable, and if they do this again,
they have 5 road wins in that streak. 12, it's amazing. 5 in the playoffs, and the hard thing for me to get my, as you watch them, they're an unusual team. Brunson is too small. Remember Becky Hammond, the assistant of the Spurs. I think she's still there. She called him too small to be a superstar, and then you got Josh Hart, who in game 1, he had 15 rebounds, which is the most since Elgin Baylor for somebody his size in a final series.
Wow.
I mean, you're going back 1970.
Yeah.
So, and then you have, you mentioned the big cat, the
Karl Anthony Towns.
It's like there's something, you've watched him all his career, and he's never had that.
He's been ripped more. And by the way, he's been ripped by New Yorker even earlier this season. He gets hurt. He's soft. He doesn't play like a 7-footer.
And that's why he was available from Minnesota, And
now look at him. 18-12. We're wondering how all the bigs are going to play against Wemby, who just destroyed the last guy he played against, and he gets off to a great start.
How did he win the tap on that? The opening tap in that I think that's the first time that's happened to Wemby all year.
Right.
It has to be.
Yeah.
So that's the way to judge the game. If Wemby doesn't win the tap, then
sometimes you get, and we look back at the great teams, the chemistry and the roles and everybody playing their best. Obviously, health is a big part of it too. But you got to have that one guy that at the end of games can take it over. And I think Jalen Brunson, literally, you could talk about him. And so he plays below the rim. I call him way below the rim. He's not jumping over guys to create shots by being athletic, but he's got great moves. He's playing against the best defenders, and he does those fadeaways.
I don't understand.
Threes.
He's left-handed.
He is left-handed.
And he fades away to the right. You know, he puts his shoulder into the defender's midsection, gets him some space. But I'm left-handed, so I played basketball a lot. I don't understand how his shot isn't blocked all the time. It's amazing what he can do.
He is one of those special guys, and there's not a lot of them. And there hasn't been a lot of them through the years. I know MJ's name always comes up first, and we had Dwayne Wade. But he can knock down threes. He hit a big three on that big run at the end of the game. He had 13 in the fourth quarter the other day. But closers in any sport, the guys that make all those great throws at the end of a game, the guys that you go to that find a way to get open. You go through all the sports, and I think Steph Curry's one of those guys as a Golden State fan. I think SGA is one of those guys. I don't know if you do, but SGA
absolutely.
takes over
MVP,
games.
Yeah.
Takes over games. You know, it's not a week where you score 30 and most of it's in the first half and you disappear in the fourth quarter because you're tired or it's in your head. I just it's been a hell of a story. And if they win tonight, the series is over. If this thing doesn't go 1-1, psychologically,
I agree.
they did it to the
absolutely.
Cavs. They destroyed the Cavs the last two games.
Yeah.
It was done.
Here's the thing. During the break, Wemby, 36 hours before the tip-off, he said, we're still celebrating the Oklahoma City. That was an emotional series. We got to come back.
It was.
Yeah, and he said, so I'm not sure that the Spurs were ready for game one, as sometimes happens in series.
They're a young
and Wemby,
team,
they're a young team. Wemby didn't play well. They shot awful. They were 14 points ahead in the fourth quarter and lost.
Yeah.
I just think you add all that up over a 7-game series, they're still the far better team.
You know, it's amazing. We seem to, living down here in South Florida, we seem to talk about everybody else a lot, and then we talk about our team and who we're going to get to help us become a better team, right? That's kind of one of our things down here.
Do, yeah.
We do that a lot down here.
With everybody. You're right. All the teams. That's a good point.
So it's like, all right, we're talking about that. That's great. And congratulations.
Is there one player who can save our teams?
That's all we're doing.
Yeah.
And by the way, this has been the greatest tease, one of the greatest teases, because now everybody's saying it looks like, well, the Heat were real close to getting them at the trade deadline, and it looks like they're the front runners again. Now, they're going to have to give up a lot, but it looks like their offer with first-round picks, and you can have anybody but Bam you want, and you get the 13th pick this year.
They're a play-in team. They've proved it the last couple of years. They can't give up a lot, okay? And they're going to keep their best player. So whoever they give up, they're not giving up a lot for somebody like Giannis. Right. The question is, how can somebody not give up something better? And to me, it has to come down to Giannis saying, look, I have 1 year left. I'm not going to sign an extension. I wanted to go to the Heat. And if you're hearing that, supposedly he wants to stay in the East, and supposedly which means I think Milwaukee's
teams, Boston, the Cavs, the same teams, and Knicks.
If Boston puts up Jaylen Brown, is that a deal? Is that a done deal?
I don't know. I don't know how everybody feels about Jaylen Brown. Jaylen seems to be as good as he is a little bit outside the club. I always sense that no matter what anybody
he spoke honestly what nobody is allowed to talk about in the NBA, which he said, I had a great year. It was my favorite year. And why is that? Because the question, if you're an NBA player, and I've talked to NBA players about this, is would you rather be a helper on a championship team or be the man when you walk in the arena every night on a good team, but not a championship? And a lot of guys would rather be that guy.
I agree.
It's a lot more fun.
Well, and he got that thing that it's Tatum, because Tatum,
yes.
and oh, by the way, he's got Brown.
Yeah.
MJ, but he's got Scottie Pippen on the side. And I understand that. I get that. But I got to tell you, it's a different pair of shoes you put on.
Yes, absolutely.
And so Brown did it this year. That team was a lot better, and
right up till the playoffs.
Right up to
the playoffs. And then, well, I don't know what happened, but
one thing, Tatum didn't play in the last game. But anyway, I don't know if what exactly is going on with that thing. But here we are, man, with the great tease, because I'm watching. I took time to check out our Heat podcasters and insiders last night, and a lot of them are saying right now, and they're going to wait to see till the playoffs are over, but it looks like the Miami Heat are going to be the inside favorites.
That's what everybody's saying. What if Oklahoma puts up Holmgren? What if they say, you know what, we're not going to get by Wemby?
I think that would be a big mistake. I think Holmgren's that good.
I agree with you.
And I'm not doing the one game you disappeared, you saw. And by the way, what an overreaction by a bunch of people in our business. What a bunch of people in our business.
We play the result all the time.
Biggest game, don't get me wrong, in Game 7 of a
bad game,
Western Conference Finals, it's huge. I played like doo-doo in that AFC Championship game. I played great in AFC Championship games. I wasn't the main guy that was going to be looked at, so it's different. But, yeah, man, this thing about getting rid of Holmgren, what was he? Second team All-NBA, first team
Defense.
Defense. Like, and you want to get rid of him? How many really good 7-footers do you think there really are? He's right there at the top. Now, the big guy got in his head.
There's
no
go.
question.
That's the question right there.
Wemby's like, I own you now.
And will San Antonio own Oklahoma City? I can't. The other thing you talk about guys playing the results is Wemby. In Game 5 against Oklahoma City, he had a bad game. Oh, he's tired. He's fatigued. Then he had great Game 6 and 7. Game 1 against the Knicks, he had he shot off 6 or 21, I believe, and he really didn't play his normal game. And he's tired. He's fatigued.
This is a new place, though. This is new. I always believe you don't just go from 0 to 60
right
in the playoffs. You got to work your way into that, maybe get in.
Completely agree, yeah.
And so we'll see. Anyway, Dave, we'll be right back. We got to take a quick break here. All day, Dan Day. Dave Hyde with us this morning. We got a lot more stuff to get to here as we continue on a Friday. Hey, if you're looking for a truck that's built for Florida work and for Florida fun, head to your local South Florida Chevy dealers this weekend and check out the incredible Chevy lineup. If a rugged midsize truck is what you're looking for, the Chevy Colorado is where capable meets comfortable, from the Colorado Custom to the ZR2. It's got the right tools to exceed your expectations or turn things up a notch with the Chevy Silverado. From the custom Trail Boss to the Silverado EV with 10 models and 4 powerful engine choices, Silverado delivers an impressive balance of strength, dependability, and efficiency. Hey, this weekend, what are you looking for? Because we make a Silverado truck perfect for you with a Chevy Silverado HD and the powerful LTZ with the premium style and substance to match. Or go to the biggest one we have, the Chevy Silverado HD High Country. So for your best Florida life here in South Florida, Chevy's got a Florida truck for you. Visit your local South Florida Chevy dealers this weekend, man. They're waiting for you. 14 dealerships. Together, let's drive.
If it's going down, you know we on it.
Wild Fork Meat and Seafood Market.
Fire up the grill and save at Wild Fork. Find deals on Angus beef sliders, fully cooked beef hot dogs, steaks, and so much more. Get the quality you love without paying the premium prices. Wild Fork. Big savings every day.
We've made it easy to find us. Listen to WQAM on FM 104.3 or on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
Wow, that was so easy.
All of our shows are there live or on demand. Plus, there's the cool rewind feature where you can listen to any part of any show you might have missed. Anytime.
Hey, welcome back, and good morning to everybody out there. Dave Hyde's with us this morning, all day, Dan Day. Woody's got the day off, spent a little extra time with those little guys out of school. Yeah, school is officially out for summer. We are ready to go. Dade County kids gone. Now the Broward County went a day before them, and that's it. Mom and Dad trying to figure out what the hell are we going to do with these kids all summer.
Throw them into camp, and that was
which
vacation and camp.
I've been making sure every bar that I'm at, all the teachers that are celebrating the end of the year, to go by and thank them personally for their hard work this year, and maybe buy them a drink.
I got to tell you, I heard something really cool. I have two grandsons in school and little guys, and one guy was bummed out. School was done. He really liked school, really liked it, and the other guy said, "Please don't talk to me, Papa, about I got 3 months off. I'm really excited." 5 years old tells me that.
5 years old. Don't talk about math.
Told me the other day we're having dinner, and he said, "Don't tell me. I don't want to talk about school." He goes, "I did really well in school, but I'm out for 3 months. Let's enjoy it, okay?" What? Way too smart, man. Way too smart. I go, you have nothing. I couldn't wait for school to get out so I could have more time to play
I just
sports.
miss that last day of school feeling. There's nothing like that in life. That last day.
It is cool, though. You get a kid. I mean, it's nothing against it. What he was saying, his little guy really missing school, man. He's bummed out. Like, I really like school. Like seeing all those guys. I like my teachers. And so they're all different out there. And by the way, if you do have those kids, it's National Donut Day. Go ahead. It's okay. If you're against sugar, let it go for one day. Krispy Kreme and Dunkin' Donut. I don't know about all the other we got some great donut places down here. I mean, they should be called dessert donuts, some of them. Gosh darn.
What was your go-to donut? Mine was the custard filled with the chocolate.
I wasn't big. I like the fundamentals of chocolate glaze, and that was it. I like the old maple bars. The old maple bars going back were big.
Maple bars.
Yeah, they were maple bars. They were so good. Showing my age right now. Some old guys going, yeah, I think I remember those. But, man, they're making them now. They stack them up and put all kinds of stuff in them. Oh, they're good. And I'm not a hater of calories and not a hater of all that stuff. And sugar is killing the world. I'm not. I'm not. That's like people telling, I went through that thing not too long ago. They were telling her, hey, man, you shouldn't be eating meat. It's really bad for you. And I go, look, man, you can write all the articles you want on, this meat stuff, eating meat's really bad for you. My dad's 92 and eats it all day, every day. My mother gave it to him every day, and he's still going 100 miles an hour. So,
I got my annual physical on Monday, and I'm hearing talk of sugar and meat.
I know.
Like,
no, all those things.
The reckoning's coming.
Did you still need to lose?
Those
charts, by
the
way, if you get those charts with those doctors, you got to be like Twiggy. You got to be so skinny.
I take off my shoes now because I'm going to try to beat this. I'm going to rig the system.
I went in at 230, and I was feeling really good. And he goes, shows me the chart where I'm supposed to be like 195. He goes, you're a good 30, 35 pounds overweight. I said, listen, man, I ain't going to see 200 pounds.
Did you tell him about National Donut Day?
No, I did not tell him, but I would have. I would have. What do we need to do to get off this blood pressure pill? Tell me. Just tell me what it is, man. All right. Hey, listen, we've got, besides that game tonight, San Antonio and New York Knicks, the second game, and all the great things the Knicks are doing. We got a bunch of other stuff. There's something else going on quietly in town that's making national news. Mario is bringing in Mario Cristobal and the football team are bringing in again this weekend, I believe next weekend as well. Some of the top 4 and 5 star players. And by the way, almost, I won't say all of them, but a lot of them want to see what's going on here. They're coming in. And Mario's thing has always been, and I think now most coaches, verbal commitment. If you make a verbal commitment to another school, but you're still open to coming to our school, you are wide open to us. Because if you are really that in love and you knew it was 100%, you would still not make 2 more recruiting trips. And we saw a guy, the top defensive end, outside linebacker in the country, who had committed to LSU, came down here a couple of weeks ago and changed his mind. And I know there's a lot of parts to it. Money, who's going to coach you up to get you to the next level, and you're sitting there looking at a Hall of Fame defensive end, one of the best ever.
Who just put 2 first-rounders in.
Just put 2 first-rounders to back it up. He's not just sitting there in a gold jacket every day. If you ever see him work, I think the parents seeing when they go out there, they see their defensive tackle coach and their defensive end coach, who are both great players, and see those guys sweating out there and spending extra time after practice, and they go, wow. You know, the knock has been, well, he's a Hall of Famer. And Jason Taylor's intimidated half the NFL, including the Miami Dolphins. Let's be very honest. They saw him, they're going, wow, will he work? And he's going to go against me because he's seen something that works that he's done as a player, and it might be different than I'm teaching and I've learned. So I've always thought Hall of Fame coaches, for some head coaches, are very intimidating.
Well, how many Hall of Fame players become?
Not many.
And how many work as hard as Jason? I mean,
none. You've seen he's a sweat box out there.
I saw him before the championship game, and I said, you know, I'm surprised and at the same time admiring that you're doing this still, because, you know, he doesn't financially need to do it. But
no, I agree.
But the impact when you talk to Messidor and Reuben Bain, the impact he had on them, not just football, but they'd go and sit in his office every day and just talk. You know, can you imagine when you're a young, about to be first round pick in the NFL, you get to talk to Jason Taylor every day? And you know Jason and better than I do, but I know Jason from his career here and through the years talking to him. And what a great guy to have as a mentor.
Mario was not afraid, did not fear it, saw the value, met with them, and he's going to be a coordinator and then probably going to be a head coach. I don't think he's in this for the short term and then going to go, no, I'm going to go around and just do appearances at 50 grand or 100 grand. No, he likes doing this. He gets attached to those kids besides his own kids. And then you come in on a recruiting trip and you meet him and your family meets him, and he shows you stuff that he's going to make, and these guys come in. So yeah, LSU loses out, and it's going to be more. Like, Mario's got this thing rolling right now, and you know how hard. Look at whatever you think of Mario, and I'm not saying Mario's perfect. Mario in the offseason is hard to beat. The Mario that recruits every day, especially under the way things are right now, they have money at the school. They're not taking a back seat to a lot of schools. They're spending money. And what they have to offer, they've upgraded those facilities. They're on the way having that 100-yard indoor field is going to be done here any day now. It can be done here in the next month or two. So it just we got it going on behind the scenes, and I expect there's a chance that some guys coming in will make a commitment and look at other guys. Let's do it together. But this recruiting class that he's putting together doesn't take
like every day they're signing a 4 or 5-star recruit, right?
I think they're up to, they got the second and number 2 quarterback in the country. I'm watching him throw at that Elite 11 thing, and I'm like, holy smokes! Like, Mario, I just want to say one thing. I brought this up yesterday. Please, when he comes in, stop with the transfer portal and let's go with one of these guys. It'd be nice to see.
Well, that'd be the question. To me, I think they have the perfect model if they can keep doing it year after year.
But it gets,
but it's hard.
You've seen the prices that I'm hearing we've paid from the 1.8 with Cam to where it is now,
4.5
to maybe
last
6,
year
7,
to
whatever
now.
it
Yeah,
is.
Yeah.
It's like, it's great. Don't get me wrong. So all those guys, high draft picks have been really good. We'll see what it looks like this year. I think it's going to be good because it's loaded on offense. But it would be really nice to get a guy in here and see him stay more than 1 year. And it'd be good for business to have a guy stay more than 1 year. You could actually fall in love, not be a one-hit wonder for 12 games plus the playoffs.
Can you recruit a guy out of high school to sit for a year? And
you can.
But
he better know when spring football he's out there and you got number 1 written all.
Then again, Ohio State brought in a guy from high school and he started right away. So you go that way.
Michigan's got one. Cal Berkeley was able to keep a guy they had from Hawaii and had a real nice first year, and they had to go over and, by the way, talk him into it, but he decided to stay, and I'm guessing he got money. But that would be my next goal for this team. And again, it's not my money. Spend it like people, oh, Joe, it's not your money. Don't worry about it. Yeah, but it would just be nice instead of, and I get the proven, like the guys you brought in are all proven guys. And guy at Duke's got as good stats as anybody.
You're recruiting the right guys every time. They've been through it. They're ready to win.
Yeah.
But what if they didn't get the guy? What if they, at some year you're not going to get the guy you want, and then you're scrambling.
That's true. But I got to tell you right now, man, between the transfer portal and these things that are going on this weekend while you're out and enjoying your life, they are down there, and they're going to have the who's who from around the country in town again. And I'm getting now, I can't wait for the next few days when all this stuff starts leaking out on this class that he's putting together for 2027. We got to go to break here. We got a lot more stuff to get to. Dave High with us from the Sun Sentinel. And by the way, if you need Dave to speak at any of your functions coming up this summer, any private clubs,
wait, what?
No,
huh? What? No, you'll pick up the ones that I can't do, right, Joe?
You know what I used to do? I used to do a lot of the awards, the award stuff for high school, and Dave, it's just it's a young man's game.
It is.
It's a young man's game.
Yeah.
It's a young man's game. I do like some of them, but it's getting a little hard. Getting a little more difficult. I'm sorry.
Joe's getting at me because he heard that I did give a speech recently.
Hey, anybody out there needs a speaker to come in on a Sunday or Friday night instead of go out with the wife, just to come in and entertain you, let us know. Hey, I want to tell you about Loctite Impact Windows, Doors, and Roofing. It's officially hurricane season, and Chev, the CEO over there, is like, hey, man, tell them, let's get going. It's not too late to get the work done. And let me tell you, Loctite provides 100% financing, 0 down, no interest, no payments for a year. You need a new roof. Don't worry. Tile, shingle, metal flat, they do it all for you. And by the way, how about roof repairs? That's right. They put together a team of people that do nothing but repair your roof. So if you're looking to get through another year, hoping the big one doesn't hit us here in South Florida, they'll come out and take care of that for you. Impact Windows as low as $6 per month per window installed. They cover all of South Florida. They do the permits and HOA approvals. They do everything from start to finish for you. Licensed and insured contractors ready to make sure you get the work done right. Official Dolphins Windows and Doors partner. And all you have to do is don't wait for the next storm. Let's get started right now. Visit LoctiteImpact.com. Again, LoctiteImpact.com or call 954-500-LOCK. Let Loctite Impact Windows, Doors, and Roofing help you.
This
Looking good on the roadways this morning, traveling in Miami-Dade. The traffic report is brought to you by the Casino at Dania Beach. Still tapping your brakes along Florida's Turnpike and northbound between Biscayne Drive and Coral Reef Drive, but out of Broward, no major issues. That's traffic. I'm Ali Escobar on FM 104.3, and you can listen to WQAM on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn app.
This traffic report is brought to you by the Casino at Dania Beach, your home for watching the world's biggest soccer tournament live at Sunrise Stage. The world's biggest soccer tournament is coming to the Casino at Dania Beach. Watch every match live here with daily food and drink specials and free parking. Stay tuned for schedules, special events, and more announcements coming soon. Visit us at CasinoDaniaBeach.com.
We've got plenty of ways for you to listen to your favorite shows and favorite teams on WQAM.
How is that, if I may ask?
We're at FM 104.3, or you can listen to WQAM on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps. Check it out now.
All right, welcome back. Happy Friday to everybody. Miami Dolphins done with their 3-day mini camp. One more next week, and the guys will have some time off. And I'm guessing Coach Half will have a nice talk with you. Bring them all in, Dave. You know what happens after that last practice next week. You go, all right, guys, you got a little more than a month off. Make good decisions. Be smart, because there'll be 2 or 3 knuckleheads in this league. They'll get in trouble. It just happens. You go by numbers, it's going to happen. Somebody's going to drive too fast, liquored up. Something happens domestically at home. She makes that phone call. Your life changes. All those things, all the things that we see every friggin' year, including a new one. I don't know. Have you watched this Brandon Ayuk thing?
No.
So something's not. He's not all there. There's something.
Right. They've been trying to actually trade him for the past year, right?
Well, he played great. He looked like a really good first round pick for 3 years and had the really good year. Then he got paid, and it was a little late. He was starting to act weird. He was around camp every day, but he was joking around, and you're trying to be serious, and the guy's there, and he's sitting out on his contract, and so he got paid. They paid him big money. And he got a lot of that, and he blows out his ACL. Those things happen. But then after that, Dave, he just kind of went. He disappeared. He started skipping workouts and rehab. And then my guys are telling me that they can't get a hold of him. Like, trainer's calling him. Trainer tells GM's calling him. They have the position coach. They have guys that work with him that have been working him out. He's got his personal guys. So he just went AWOL. We don't know. So what a great tease, because I remember how good he was. But this recent thing, going 104 miles an hour in a 40-mile-an-hour zone next to Levi Stadium, which is, what are you trying to prove? That's where he's supposed to be playing games. Still
running, still showing that speed. It sounds like, look, for the past few years, and this wasn't the Dolphins' problem. The Dolphins' problem with their receiver were other things. But the idea that
he loved playing on Sunday. I'll give him credit.
Absolutely.
Loved playing on Sunday.
It was getting him to Sunday.
That's correct.
That was the issue.
Free time was not his best friend.
Right. And so,
yes,
to that point, not going to have that problem around the Dolphins.
Well, no, man. Everybody's here. Even guys aren't happy with their contract. Everybody's here. So that's a great start, by the way, to get a message out. It's a very young team, no question about it. They got a lot better. I was out there not yesterday, but the day before, and they got. Hey, Dave, you know what? I just can break it. We're gonna have Perk on a little bit later in the show. I'm looking out there now. I've been to a few practices. I got a pretty good idea right now on who's going to start. Not everywhere. I got a pretty good idea. I'm not very good at who's going to mix in there. I got some guys our fan base knows, but I got a pretty good idea across the board who's going to start. Isn't that crazy? You may feel differently. I can tell, first of all, by who the quarterback's throwing to, the things that the coaches are saying after practice. I can tell you who they want to be the starting 5 on the offensive line. You can do it too. The starting defensive tackles playing inside, I can tell you the first 3 to 4 guys. I can tell you who the 3 linebackers are in the middle. So can you. And you can do that a lot of places. I know who the 3 running backs are going to be. Same three from last year. I had to think about that.
You can't say, okay, who in the first 6 weeks of the season is going to improve enough? Because it's a young team. Who is going to improve enough that they're going to take somebody's spot? And that's what you're hoping.
Well, that's going to happen.
Team.
That
You're
will
hoping
happen
that
on
happens.
some guys. I'm not 100%, but
who's going to play the other cornerback opposite? Well, I guess we do know who's going to play the cornerback.
Chris Johnson's going to be there. Juju Brents is really good.
Yeah.
He just
Can
got
he
to stay
healthy?
healthy.
Right.
Which we got to put that next. Hell, we got to write articles about it. Like Juju Brents, we really like, but can you stay healthy? 6'3". The other guy's going to be Jason Marshall. Those three guys, unless something crazy happens, and I'm not talking about injuries because injuries happen and everything changes. Another guy gets a chance and he does great, or he's out too. But so I just start looking. Yeah, I was going to bring that up. I think it's going to be Chris, and I can hear coaches right now going, really? So you've seen one OTA, mini camps. We've been together 3 times. We're still putting in stuff. And you've already telling me you got a pretty good idea on a start. Even with this group.
Even with those 3 guys who really none of them have done anything.
That's true.
You know, I mean, I see what you're saying. That
I didn't mean to throw you a little curvevball here. Dante Trader's going to start at one of the safety jobs.
That's you know, I look at it as a different way, not only practicing, but who are they bringing up to speak to the media?
I agree with
you
that.
Know, who and Dante, you listen to Dante, he's a great speaker. He's a great, you can understand why.
We got to get him on, and we got to get him on before this summer. Spent some time with him at the DCC. Very impressive.
Who's the other safety?
Don't know. I just said Dante Trader. I left that alone.
Okay.
But, hey, Jordan Brooks, Tyrell Dotson, Jacob Rodriguez going to be your guys, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's 3 for
go,
2 positions. Are you thinking all 3 linebackers? Or
I think they're going to play some together, but Tyrell.
That'll be the decision is because they're all 3 are inside linebackers.
Tyrell Dotson's really good. And by the way, he is the mouth of the defense. He has been the mouth of the defense. And so, because not everybody wants that. Nobody wants to get everybody out there and get it in and hearing stuff. And then, you know, that's not for everybody. A lot of guys don't want that. I don't want to hear from the coordinators during my playing. I want to just go out, tell me what we're doing, and I'll go. So that's an interesting one. But the starting 5 on the offensive line, that thing was said as soon as I got
it's no longer a wall of worry. It's been a wall of worry for years.
If this thing's a wall of worry,
I was going to say, if this is not fixed
wrong.
now, then they got real problems. But that's their best unit.
Hey,
right?
And like everybody's, well, are you sure about our first round pick? I go, by the way, our first round pick's in a pretty good situation in left guard. And I go, what do you mean? I go, well, he's playing. Patrick Paul's on one side, and Aaron Brewer's on the at center, who's playing as well as anybody. I kind of like it, and then on top of it, he's just good. I mean, before he hasn't seen they're going to throw some stuff at him, and you might see him like there might be something, but at some point in September, you're going to go, wow, there's a reason we're running that left side of that offensive line. I don't know, Savaianaya, I still think is going to be the starter. I think when this thing starts up,
I think they'd like him to be. The question is,
and Austin Jackson, you know, now things can change because of injury. It's the only thing on top of this, because we do know guys are going to get injured. That is a fact. And I was thinking whether I should bring this up because this can upset, because everything's supposed to be open competition. Let me tell you about open competition, and it is open competition. And that's the way they're treating it every day when they're talking to them. Just like they're telling us we're not rebuilding. I get it. And we're going to win as many. You're going to try to win as many
Who's
games.
Saying they're not? Have they said they're not rebuilding?
No, they're saying that we have a lot of new players, but we're in this thing to win every game, which is true.
What else is a coach and player supposed to say? They have to. That's their.
No coach is going to come out and say it, but yeah, it's a lot of new guys. It's going back up again. And I know they hate the R word and all the R words.
I'm not sure how far up it's going to go this year. I saw, what was it, ESPN, someone, the worst roster in the league.
Yeah.
And I agree. It probably is the worst roster.
Because we don't know how good anybody's is. It's fair. We got a bunch of guys that haven't played.
There's a lot of question mark. Every position, except for a few, is a question.
This thing is built on upside of a lot of guys. How much better can you be in this system? how quickly can you be coached up, and how many by the time we get around to Thanksgiving into December find out like we're going to have an idea how good some guys are.
And the rebuilds build on 179 million of dead cap money.
Yeah.
Off the board in
Right.
one season, take all the medicine, and then get to next season. We'll have a lot of money to
I agree.
fill in holes.
And you got to bring that up. That's a good point. That's the best point why we're doing this, so everybody doesn't. Yeah, we effed up the cap. We effed up the cap. We're just talking, you and I were talking about how well the Rams have done, and they're set. I was going, the Rams must be in bad shape for the cap. And they go, no, they're actually in really good shape next year.
I just looked it up. I just looked it. So they have.
That's the way you run a friggin' team, between a head coach, a GM, and the cap guys.
They have 18 million left to spend this year, and they're in the fifth best. They have the fifth most money for 27. After making Myles Garrett.
When you told me
trade,
that,
it's like crazy.
I didn't know, and I was shocked. I literally was shocked. All right, we got to go to break here now that you brought all that stuff up. But no, I just wanted to let you know, man, I got a pretty good feel for what's there, and I'm really looking forward, because I think some of those groups are going to be really good. Really good. I don't know how well we can cover. I like our inside. I don't know about the pass rush. I don't know about how good the receivers are, but he's throwing to the same guys. And when you're throwing to the same guys, I got a pretty good idea who's going to be playing.
Receivers and defense, I think they got problems now. Can they?
How quickly? How good are those three guys that I just mentioned?
Right.
And what's that pass rush? How much you going to have to blitz? Because if you can't get a pass rush with 4, you got to bring. You got to bring some heat. You got to add some horsepower.
They're talking about Chop Robinson a lot for a reason. They need him to be good, and he hasn't.
So Bo's on this thing that they've kind of called him out. I'm on this thing. They just want him to know. They're patting him and want to go, dude, we have seen your talent. We are all there to see you work out when we were with Green Bay. Now's the time to shine in year 3 with our coaching staff. Hey, we got to go to break. I do want to talk to you about sports-related injuries, since we are talking about that's part of sports, man. It is part of living every day when you're active here in South Florida. We have one of the best sports medicine programs in the country. Baptist Health South Florida is fantastic. Great doctors. People ask me almost every day. I get somebody goes, hey, where do the pros go in this town? My wife's hurt. My son's hurt. My daughter's hurt. Inter Miami, the Heat, the Florida Panthers, the Miami Dolphins, FIU, FAU. They all trust the great doctors that they have put together. Now, how do you become a top sports medicine program? Somebody asked, well, how do they rank this? Oh, it's very simple. You got to have great specialists, number one. You got to have great team doctors that work with those specialists for the knee, and they do. They brought in 30, 40 specialists now, knee, shoulder, foot, and ankle, hand specialists, back, hip and knee replacement, Achilles, and then you throw in some great team doctors. I mean, some of the best. This guy, Dr. Swartzen, is a friggin' all-star. There's a reason he's getting harder to see, man. I made him my personal doctor, and apparently so is everybody else. This man is unbelievable. But I want to let you know, it comes into great facilities, too. Doctors Hospital in Coral Gables, Hard Rock Stadium next to the training facility, and, of course, 595 and Pine Island in Plantation, man. You get everything you need. By the way, we got more on the way. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho. One goal every day for all of us. One goal when you get in there. You want somebody who can get you back out playing the sports you love the most, and that's what they do.
WQAM broadcasting
road skid as they take on the Marlins. 7:10, Ryan Gusto get the start for the Fish. And Haiti and Peru have a World Cup warm-up at New Stadium tonight at 7:30. Tickets are sold out. This weather report is brought to you by Tornado Roofing and Contracting, replacing roofs, roof repair, maintenance, and hurricane impact windows and doors. Visit tornadoroofing.com. Going to be overcast throughout the day, but a very slight chance of rain with temperatures in the mid to high 80s. I am Dan Day. Now back to the Joe Rose Show here on 104.3 FM WQAM.
Hey. Welcome to a Friday. Man, it's great to have you with us. We always appreciate it. However, whatever it might be that has you with us this morning, couldn't sleep last night, just getting up, got up early, seeing if I'm going to say something really stupid on a Friday. Dave Hyde's with us. All day Dan Day, who never sleeps. We got to get another name. All day Dan Day. When I say that, people have no idea.
All night Dan Day.
He goes, man. This guy, he's a worker. Nothing but love and respect for All Day Dan Day for anybody. This dude works, man. And when I come in here and I see, damn, bro, I got here early and your ass is here. Damn, man, you are old school All Day. So it's always appreciated, brother, that the work you put in. Hey, it's National Donut Day. I want to start with that because anytime you get something free out there, I want to let everybody know that if you're going out there, and if your Dunkin' Donut store forgot to tell you when you were getting that big boy coffee and didn't mention the free donut, even though I probably wouldn't have eaten it, I would have brought it in today, but they never brought it up. And Krispy Kreme is giving a free donut, and you don't have to get a beverage. So I wanted to let you know, National Donut Day. I love donuts.
Have you ever asked for that donut when you stop there every day? Have you ever
so
just
sometimes,
brought it up and said, hey, I hear.
No, I smell them and I go, how old are they? And the guy goes, because I get there at 4 a.m. and he goes, just made them. Just made. And that smell comes right through that window, that drive-through, and hits me right in the face.
And you say I'm stronger than the donut, right? You say I'm stronger.
Now, listen, I'm a little hungry at that point, too. But, yeah, I could go for that early morning sugar high in a heartbeat. Man, I love donuts. I'm not going to say, oh, they're terrible for you. I know what they are for you. I don't care. I love them.
Everybody loves donuts.
By the way,
everybody.
How hard is it even at night when you have dinner, especially on the weekends, not to have some dessert? Don't tell. Are you, for you?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to.
I'm with you.
Because now I got people in my life going, oh, me, I don't miss that at all. I didn't realize how bad it was for you. And I'm not.
There's a little Haagen-Dazs sitting in there in the freezer. I have to say no.
Oh, I like the old school ice cream. I like the old school. But the yogurt, to me, the yogurt ice cream, I mean, I like it all.
I was going to say, I'm not discriminating on any of that.
Hey, man, and you put a cake. I like pies. I grew up with pies all the time, grandmother.
The Sun Sentinel's doing a thing on the best key lime pie in South Florida.
Well, you didn't tell me that. There's two places for me.
Where are they?
There's one in the Keys that we stopped. It's just unbelievable. I can't.
The Key Lime Factory?
Yes.
There it is. That's my favorite in the Keys. That's amazing. Yeah.
And by the way, our neighbors even say, on your way home, could you get us? They're good. But I got to tell you, there's another one on Griffin Road.
Yes, I know that place. Yeah, the fruit factory.
Is it Roth's? I always forget the name. It's so good. Somebody out there.
It's like a big fruit stand. I forget, right? I mean, it's a big.
Yeah. But they got great food. Period.
Yeah.
They got sandwich stuff all day there. I don't stop a lot.
Bob Roth's.
Yes, thank you. Did you just pick that up, or somebody hit you with that?
No, I'm hitting the research button, man. I'm trying to make this happen.
Oh my God, it's right off the turnpike there. You get off, and just go a little bit west there. Man, it's right there. And
there's another one during the pandemic.
Is there another?
A guy started selling near us, and I live in the Grove. Started selling key limes out his front door, and people would stop by. And now he has a store, Hookums, key lime. So
we went to Key West for a wedding, and I said, hey, Mark, while we're down here, I'm going to try. This is all key lime weekend. I want to see I want to go different places, even walking around during the day. And to me, nothing was better than.
I'm with you, and I've tried them all down there. So I did.
And some are going best key lime pie,
Yes,
and every 2 miles, best key
Now,
lime pie.
Do you put whipped cream on it, or you stay away from that?
No, of course that's
Yeah,
got to
okay.
be on it.
Yeah.
Oh, did you see my voice? But no, yeah, you gotta have the whipped cream on there. But no, I got to tell you, they do a really nice job. And she used to come in here sometimes, the owner, and drop off a few pies. But yeah, you can't go wrong there. I see people.
Why don't we have? Why isn't there National Key Lime Pie Day?
There might be.
There might be.
I mean, we kind of own the key lime pie.
Is, yeah.
Ain't nobody out in California where I'm from
Yeah,
going,
that's a good point.
hey, you want a key lime pie? I'll pick one up. I mean, it's here. It's a here thing. It's
That's true.
It is funny, but yeah.
We got 2 boxes of donuts sitting out there, and so far we haven't.
Well, they
haven't
got
walked
it in the
out there.
afternoon.
Haven't
No,
walked out there.
but I opened both boxes to see,
You did.
and they're loaded big boy donuts.
Oh boy.
Yeah, they're not your normal Krispy Kreme and Dunkin' Donut. These are donuts on steroids, man. They are. They got everything you need. All day Dan Day said he jumped on them. He jumped on them a little bit here earlier.
Well, all day Dan Day looks like he could eat about
all
50
day, like he
donuts for a
doesn't gain
while,
weight.
and he's
No,
not.
he's
It ain't gonna affect him.
It's not fair. It's just not fair at all. But yeah, so you guys doing the Sun Sentinel key lime pie?
Yeah, I haven't. I've just seen the story advertised. Send in that we're not to the result portion yet.
So we've done that through the years, and I know the papers do that because it's a big part of our community. And but those are my 2. And coming home from the Keys, went to a wedding, got to stop.
Very good. Yeah, that.
Matter of fact, I
that's
make
interesting because independent of each other, we both came to the same conclusion in the Keys, that key lime factory. Right.
Well, you're down there a lot, but David, I got to tell you, the other one is the place on Griffin Road, which is a shortcut to if I don't mind taking a couple extra stoplights, it's right there. So
I discovered that when the
easy
Dolphins
go-to.
practiced out that right near there for years, and I'd
Yeah.
go by it and I'd stop in, and that's good. Yeah.
And I'll sit down, eat a piece of key lime, and next thing you know, especially on one of those Friday or Saturday nights,
Half the pie's gone. That's the problem with key lime pie.
Half the pie. And I just chisel it right off the spoon or the fork. Now, my kids don't like it, so I can get a little dirty. Nobody wants you. Oh, my God, are you using the thing? Don't worry, I'm the only one that's going to eat it.
They don't like it?
No, I don't have kids. My family's not key lime.
Wow.
It's weird.
That's great. What a great family. All for you, Joe.
When certain things come, I know, especially on the key lime pie, it can stay in there. And key lime will hold for a few days, which I like.
I would suggest you putting it in the freezer too, and then you have the frozen key lime pie. It's pretty good too.
You know what? Your Keys colors are coming out this morning, man.
Yeah.
They are coming out. Hey, so I got on this thing, and I don't want to jump ahead. We got a lot of stuff going on. Marlins and Rays game 1 tonight. Rays have been one of the great stories in baseball. Off to a great start, even though they cooled off a little bit. But again, right there with the Yankees. But the other one was this thing I hit you with, and everybody's got a little different angle. So I was out there, and I'm hearing the same names, and I'm watching. A lot of you Dolphin fans are watching, see what's going on, want to know how the team's going. And I started with the quarterbacks, and I go, this is pretty easy because clearly Malik Willis and Quinn Ewers Quinn Ewers looks fantastic. So you got your 2 guys. That's it. You're 1 and 2. And people are going, well, what competition? No, there's going to be some competition. Don't get me wrong. There's still playing time, figuring out how many of these rookies you can trust in September, that you're going to play in certain packages. You got 12 of them. There's going to be more than 3 of them play. I can guarantee you early September, and I don't mean on special teams. I mean on offense and defense and some of the packages that they're going to throw at people on short yardage, long yardage situations, blitzing situations. Some of the young guys are going to be very active in that. But in the fundamentals of your 11 guys on offense, 11 guys on defense, I hit you with some guys. They're going to play and start and play a lot of football. And I think they got a pretty good idea. Their tackles, I know who's got a pretty good idea who's going to start. Question is, how much will they rotate in there? But they're all going to look like starters when you're watching. Led, obviously, by Zach Sealer, but Grant's going to play a lot. And so you know that rotation. Jordan Phillips is going to be in there a lot as well. And Bigger's probably going to play a lot, not only inside, but he's such an athlete. He could play outside. But Chris Johnson, Juju Brents, Jason Marshall, and there's a lot of guys out there, and some of them are local guys and their families listen. I'm not saying other guys aren't going to play, but those are going to be the first three names that, to me, when we line up game one in Vegas, this is everybody being healthy, which very seldom happens. Those are going to be your three guys. And people are like, I said this, and oh my God, you're jumping the gun way too early. Just telling by what I see, what I hear from the coaches. Now, they're not saying it, but by the way they talk about guys, they're not going, that's our guy. Of course they're not doing that. They want open competition is a theme of the team. And that's good. But I'm telling you that I got a pretty good idea. And not everybody. Dave, you hit me with the second safety, and I don't know. I don't know that. I know Dante Trader's going to be the one.
Receiver set? See, to me, there's some pressure points.
No, they're not.
Receiver, edge rusher, cornerback.
But I do know Greg Dulcich is going to catch a ton of footballs if I'm going by, first of all, the guy. So here's the other thing. I'm glad you brought that up. I watch our top two quarterbacks and who they're throwing to. The guys they're throwing to, that means they feel comfortable throwing to them, are going to play. Their timing's only going to get better. And once quarterbacks get used to throwing to a guy, there's nothing a coach can do. They're going to do it out of habit. And by the way, the other way too, you go four wide and you don't feel comfortable and haven't had great chemistry with the guy, even though the coaches like him, ask Tua Tagovailoa. He won't throw to him. Won't throw to him. You can line him up. Great. I don't care who he's playing against. I ain't looking there.
Well, he was on. Remember, he would say when guys hadn't practiced, no, they need to practice. You know, I need to work with them before I can throw to them.
So if you're asking me who's actually going to start, look at Jalen Tolbert's going to play a lot. Malik Washington's going to play a lot. But to your point, there's going to be a lot of guys playing a lot that have had their moments out there that are only going to get better. You know, guys that haven't played in the NFL are only going to get better as the game starts to slow down. A lot of guys I can tell still don't know what's going on. We got some, hey, Dave, I went through this. Some guys learn fast, the system, and some guys don't comprehend stuff as fast. I ain't saying some guys are dumbasses and not. Just saying some guys comprehend a new system fast. Malik Washington from last year's coaching staff and these guys is one of the fastest learners they've had around here in a long time. Malik is like you tell him one time, I was told by his coach, and bam, it's in.
Yeah, you heard it last year, hear it this year, how smart he is.
What do you want to do? What do you want me to do? I know what everybody's doing, including the quarterback. What do you want me to do?
That's the guy. Absolutely. Those guys are valuable.
There are not a lot of those guys, but because you worry about yours, and do I go release inside or outside? And hey, it looks like zone, but it might be man. So what do I do now? And so those guys, once they figure this thing out, is going to be. But again, there are guys that they've talked about a lot in the first couple of weeks, and they already had a pretty good feel. First of all, our top two picks are starting, period.
Yeah.
At guard and one of the
I'm sure a bunch of other rookies
positions
will be playing a lot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And they didn't. Rodriguez not going to be running down just on special teams as a second-round pick and a 43rd overall pick. The new group, new coaching staff, new GM, he's going to play a lot of football, even though I'm a big fan of the other two guys. Huge fan of Dotson and Brooks. I think they're both really, really good players. Hey, man, I don't know about Chop. I know Bo and Bo's possessed. He's crazy about this whole Chop thing, and I'm not going to do that, but I'm guessing he's going to play a lot of football. They're going to put him out there to start the year. He's going to be at one of those positions.
I remember talking to Dave Dombrowski when he was with the Marlins in spring training, and I was asking him a question, is this guy going to do this? Is this guy going to do that? He said, you know what? You're asking me questions. The answers will present themselves over the season. With Chop Robinson, the answer will present itself. Either he takes another step and is able to play, as the coach wants to play, every down, or at least rush the passer, or he can't.
Every opportunity
he's going
to have this thing built around him.
Absolutely. He's going to be on the field a lot.
You can call him out, or some people. So do we have that? Do we have what he said about Chop? We'll come back and run it one more time. Bo listened to the same thing I did and got a completely different. Like he thought something completely different that the head coach is calling him out. And I didn't take it that way. Anyway, if we can find that Coach Hafley talking about chop, we'll have that for you. Hey, right now, though, I want to talk about Michael Kotze at Choice Mortgage. Man, I got to tell you, this guy truly has no life. He's always working. People are, why would I use Michael Kotze to get a mortgage? And I go, well, he's got 30 years of experience. He can get you approved in half the time. That's a big thing for everybody. You want the best rates. You want to get everything done and get approved quickly because you need the money in most cases, or you need the mortgage. Well, that's what Michael Kotze at Choice Mortgage and why he's been so successful. And through all the craziness of rates, been able to just keep on rolling. But whether you're a first-time home buyer, he's got a program for you with very little money down and the lowest rates possible. Self-employed, been declined by the banks. He's got great program for you. Reverse mortgages are more popular than ever. If you and your spouse are 62 or older, you qualify. Got all that money, right, through the years of paying your home off and the value and equity in the home. Well, wouldn't you like to have that money? You could use it now as you get older, pay some bills off, and get yourself all set up. Take a nice vacation you've been waiting to do. These are all things Michael Kotze's been helping people, gets great reviews for. Go to Google reviews on the web. Choice Mortgage reviews. Debt consolidation, man, you need that cash. You got that equity in your home. Please, Michael Kotze, get me approved quickly.
Dania Beach, your home for watching the world's biggest soccer tournament live at Sunrise Stage. The world's biggest soccer tournament is coming to the casino at Dania Beach. Watch every match live here with daily food and drink specials and free parking. Stay tuned for schedules, special events, and more announcements coming soon. Visit us at casinodaniabeach.com.
Cool ways to listen to us.
Okay, I'd like to hear them then.
On FM 104.3 or on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps. Same great shows, same great games. Plus, you can use the rewind feature and listen to anything you missed. Go for it.
Well, hopefully he becomes an every down player. I mean, I think, the easy answer is his pass rush, his get off, his ability to affect the quarterback, but I'm looking for a lot more from Chop. He's going to play a position where he's going to line up in a 9 technique and play on tight ends, and he has to set the edge, and he's going to have to reduce down to a 6 technique and play through tight ends. He might reduce down and play a 5 technique. There's going to be pass rush times when he's going to be coming off the edge. We might slide him around, move him around to put him in good situations, but he needs to become a complete football player going into year 3, and we have high expectations for him. We need to coach him. We need to develop him. But the guy's got such a good attitude. He's working so hard, and I'm excited to see where that goes.
All right, Coach Hafley, talking about, hey, honestly, the number one topic seems like, along with obviously the quarterback situation and your first-round picks, but Chop, your first-round pick 3 years ago, everybody's kind of figured out all our pass rushers are gone, and Chop's the only guy still here. So that sound negative to you?
No.
You feel like he called him out like, listen, you got to be a lot better.
I think he was saying, here's what we want you to be. Now go be that guy. So whether he was, I don't think it calling him out. I think he was saying, here's what you have the talent to do, but we got to see it.
That's true.
Okay. And like any coach,
but they're talking about using him everywhere. Like the guy I see that has this talent, you're talking about moving that guy to be around your special guy in your defense. When you start talking about this not lining a guy up or, hey, listen, man, we got pass rush specialists that aren't great against the run. They're throughout the league. And they're going, no. We think he can take care of the edge against the run. We think he can put him out wide and just run by everybody. And here's the problem that Bo sees and a lot of other people. He's never put up big numbers in his life, and we keep wanting to see 50 or 60 tackles, and that's just hasn't been. You can go back to his senior year when they drafted him. Some people said, oh, his upside's going to be off the chain. And other guys are going, yeah, but he got no numbers at Penn State.
You haven't seen it here. Okay, the player that Hafley's talking about, I get, but as he said, he's got to become an every down player. He's got to become and we haven't seen that here through 2 years.
Well,
you haven't seen a guy who sets the edge. You've seen a guy who puts okay pass rusher, but anything special. So
what a great opportunity for guys to either get their careers going again, because they got a couple of those guys that were drafted pretty high, been on other teams that bounced around. To show they can play this because they're still young enough and they got some experience. They drafted some guys. They got a few rookie free agents. It's going to be, but you got to have a couple of those guys to get there. I just think when you got to blitz all the time to get there in 3rd and long, you're asking with the quarterbacks you're going to be playing against, you're asking for trouble. You saw the quarterback list of names of teams you're going to play home and on the road. So, that's a big one, man. I do think there's a lot. I think Chop and Malik Willis are the 2 guys that had the most pressure on them going into a season where really there aren't real high expectations as a team. But those 2 guys are going to be really important.
Yeah, Chop to me has the biggest question mark of of the guys who were here before last year. Who is he? Because again, I haven't seen.
Okay,
I get what they're saying, and we heard the defensive coordinator last year talk about Chop in similar regard. Here's what he can do, but we haven't seen him do it. And
I'm glad Coach Half said this is year 3. We need to see it, man. Year 3, you played a lot of football there, brother.
This is a team full of 1-year contracts and rookie contracts, and they're in the NFL. Those guys are easily dispensable next offseason if they don't show themselves.
I think one of the nice stories is going to be from some of the draft guys from a year ago, that the one good thing that came out of this draft class last year, and some of them, I don't know if they can play or not.
Pick a name. Who do you think's going to step forward big?
Oh, I think Phillips is going to have a big jump in his play, and Dante Trader. I think those be 1 and 2. Either way, at safety and defensive tackle. Jordan Phillips looks amazing. If he's only 305, that's an impressive 305.
Yeah, he's the guy people were talking about.
He looks like he is a junkie, and if somebody forgot to tell him in the offseason, go ahead and go take a vacation. He's been there, and he's on a daily mission, and I hope that's the motivation. Kenneth Grant, obviously a first pick, he needs to play a lot better too. I mean, he's got to have more of an impact on games than he did last year. That's why year 2 is usually a big jump.
Oh, especially with defensive tackles. Remember Christian Wilkins? He was okay as a rookie, but nothing.
No, I agree.
Progressively,
not like he
was.
Yeah, not like he was by the time he got the big payday from the Raiders. Yeah, no, not even close. So anyway, my point was, without getting carried away and whatever people are going to be saying, and some people will be upset that I've already decided who's going to start. I'm just saying. I didn't, what I named 70% of starters, basically 65, 70%.
But you're right. When you sit there and think about it, I think you're right. I hadn't thought about it.
There's going to be some guys, once you put the pads on, are going to play well. There's going to be some guys that come on strong. They're going to work their way in, and there's going to be injuries. And there's 2 guys that we're really counting on for me, but behind their name, you have to put if they can stay healthy. And that is Juju Brents and Austin Jackson. Big, good-looking cornerback on the – when I say good-looking, big, strong, 6'3". He looked good when he played last year, and he gets injured.
He looks different than cornerbacks do.
And listen, Austin Jackson's a really good player if he could just stay healthy at right tackle. That's all. I'm not worried Austin Jackson was able to stay. Austin Jackson stays healthy, he's going to be really, really good. But
he's going to be average, which
he's missed a lot.
If he's average, that's good for the Dolphins.
Yeah, well I mean,
there's nothing wrong with being an average NFL
I'm not
player.
saying, number one right tackle, but he could be really good, and then I don't know about Savaianai. I'm up and down on him. I know he ranked dead last, and all the.
He'll tell us who he is this season.
Yes,
that's.
Right side.
Matter. We can debate here and all that, but here's a question for me. I thought after June 1st we'd have a couple of contracts signed. There's Aaron Brooks.
There's a big one,
or Aaron Brewer and Jordan Brooks.
Yes,
and
you could have comboed them together because they're under they
same
both
idea.
want it.
Same idea.
They've been class acts so far.
Yeah,
they have. Nobody would even know unless you know that one. Well, both were all pro, not Pro Bowl, but all pro, and one led the league in tackles. The other one was just fantastic. By the way, one of the greatest polling centers I've ever seen the year he had last year. Such a big part of one of those H-N runs, and he's out in front. Incredible. And then on top of it, they're great leaders. Not every guy wants to be a leader. Those guys are leaders and so important. I hope they can get it done. I believe they're both 28. I hope they can get some kind of extension. It should be a priority. You got to have a few veterans. Sealer's one of them that is happy with his contract. But we need and obviously H-N. Everybody keeps wanting. I don't know if H-N wants. I think H-N wants to lead by. I don't see H-N. That's not his personality. Go up and down, patting guys on the back.
You know how he's going to lead? Take the football and run.
Give me 1,800 yards.
Lead the league again in rushing yards.
Yeah, total yards. Yeah, be up there. Give me. You don't have to give me 1,800. Give me 1,500, 1,600 total yards. But he's so good, first, second, and third down. No question about that. Hey, we got to go to break here. We got a little bit long-winded on my take here. I just want it's hard to beat all those writers on all this stuff, man, because they come up with stuff and I started.
There's scraps right now to write about. That's the thing. There's a new regime, there's always some interesting things to come out because you're getting to know the coach.
I know the coach is going to disagree with if any of those coaches were listening driving in when I started this morning about, we know 60 or 70% of the starters are right now. And that's driving them nuts because they're like, no, you're telling the whole team that jobs are open and a couple are.
Well, it's not like these
and
are
depth.
It's not like those jobs are locked down. I agree with you. Okay,
I think the back half of the roster is wide open. Play well, show me a good preseason, you got a job. But and listen, if you were a draft pick from last year or this year, I like your odds. Let's just get to that. I like your odds. If
you're gonna have a chance to make a career in the NFL.
I don't think they keep all 12 draft picks, 11 or 12 draft picks on the active roster. I think some are going to start on the practice squad.
Yeah, they're going to keep them though. I'd imagine
they want to, unless they get picked off. All right, hey Dave, we've got to talk about air conditioning. Well, I'll tell you what, you talk about something that gets ugly. You talk about air conditioning companies, and I guarantee everybody out there has had a bad experience. Everybody out there has had a bad experience. Man, I'm telling you, there's nothing more frustrating than telling you, hey, this is what it's going to cost you to fix. And you just go, I don't know, that doesn't sound right. And somebody else comes in and goes, no, you don't need a new air conditioning unit. I can fix the one you have for $250. You're like, oh my God. And how about being late? My gosh, man, football players and air conditioning companies late. Well, I got somebody that's going to deliver on time. You need a new air conditioning unit. You need one installed. You need one serviced. You need duct cleaning, whatever it is. If you're not happy and you're ready to try something new and not give somebody else another chance because you know it hasn't worked out, stay chill with Chill Zone Air Conditioning. President Melissa De Verona is fantastic, family-owned and operated, and wants to let you know this is special. Because another frustration when you are pissed off at one of those companies, you want to talk to the head man, and he never takes your call. He gets a little gutless. Well, you don't get that with Melissa. She sets up all the appointments, gets people, and by the way, they are really good about being on time. When they tell you they're coming within a 2-hour time and then give you an update like he should be there in 10 minutes, I mean, my gosh. And then the experience of everybody that's on those trucks in Dade and Broward County, even Palm Beach County, listen, they do great work, and they want to let you know if you're ready to make a change and try something new. Tell me you heard it right here, but Big Mouth 104.3 WQAM. Go to chillzoneac.com and 786-378-2778. But listen, it's Chill Zone Air Conditioning. It's family-owned and operated with a lot of people that have been with them for a long, long time that know what they're doing. I have Michael come out. He was fantastic a couple of days ago, took care of things on time. My wife is going, how about this? On time, with a price they said, able to fix it. That's what it's all about at Chill Zone Air Conditioning. All right, welcome back, and good morning to everybody. Happy Friday. Dave Hyde in from the Sun Sentinel. Can't get enough of Dave Hyde, man. If you're not reading his columns, you're making a mistake. Because I don't know how long we have the old guy around, man. I want to keep him around a couple more years.
Got old guy. I'm getting older, Joe.
Yeah,
starting to feel it, you
That's
know.
the deal. All day Dan Day in with us as well, as Woody's got the day off with the boys out of school. Spend a little time with his family, and we've got a lot of stuff going on, and we have a giveaway. We got Perk. Speaking of old school, Chris Perkins from the Sun Sentinel. The guys still do the lot of podcasts and stuff together. I think that's really
more during. Well, now it's kind of there's never a slow time in the NFL, isn't it? That's
never say a slow time in sports.
But I leave it mainly him and Perk and David Furones fill it out during the off season a lot when I'm off on other stuff.
Yeah, they're out there every day and getting you stuff. So we'll jump into stuff with minicamp, finishing up another minicamp, one more week before the guys get some time off, and then hey man, it'll count. We'll be pads and going against other teams and practicing against other teams and 3 preseason games to kind of put this thing together. But before we do all that, we got tickets to give away. Marlin tickets, June 19th, the Giants. My team growing up, of course, and you heard Bo yesterday. He also grew up in that same San Francisco Giant family, Candlestick Park, and now playing a nice park. But anyway, we got a nice park here for a 4-pack. Friday, June 19th, when the Giants are in town, a 4-pack. And if you can name, can I do this? Or is this too much work? We had back-to-back-to-back home runs the other day. Doesn't happen a lot. We had back-to-back-to-back, and that little win streak that we just went on against the National.
I'll give the first one, and they give the next two.
All right, you go ahead.
Mac was the first one.
Mac, that's a good one. So you made it a little easier with the other two. I'll tell you what. You want to give a second one, and then
Hernandez.
Okay, there's one left. One left. And you'll win a 4-pack with the kids out of school and go enjoy yourself at a Giants and Marlins baseball game, as now all of a sudden they win 3 straight games. They get the sweep back home against the Rays, followed by Arizona. So they got 6 games and going to got a little bit of time off. Had yesterday off and then start the Citrus Series tonight. The Rays, what a great story. Or a sport that's really screwed up with the haves and have-nots. And they, somebody forgot to tell them, hey, you don't have a lot of money. Why are you guys always so good?
They're the patron saint of small market teams, aren't they? Every year they make the right decisions.
We've talked about it.
We got their guy, to be them.
And I thought maybe it was going to fall apart when we got their guy, and it just keeps going.
And their original guy is with the Dodgers now. He's got money.
Oh my God.
He's got money and he's got smarts, and that's a combination.
It's a bad combination of the Dodgers, what they have, because they got a great minor league system. They hit, and everybody that's a free agent wants to play for them. They'll trade for really good players.
Do you see Ohtani now?
Oh, God.
10 starts.
Crazy.
The first 10 starts of a year, he ranks 3rd all-time in ERA. Juan Marichal is 2nd.
Well,
that tells you, 1966, that tells you the season that Ohtani's having.
I heard the guys. I watch MLB Network, and again, I have no life, and I first to admit that. I don't know. You ever watch the specialty sports thing? I was watching MLB during the day.
Yeah,
I like to watch the
absolutely.
highlights. They do a great job of the highlights, and their topics are stuff and good, really good stuff. They're saying he keeps this up. He can be known as the greatest player to ever play the game. And I'm always, as an old guy, I'm not big when, now talking about, the Knicks are going to be considered one of the greatest teams of all time. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I'm thinking of the old Laker teams and Celtic teams and
I'm with
Michael's teams. Like, calm down. It's a great story what the numbers are putting up. But I know, and Woody's guilty of this being a young dude and forgetting about the old guys, but he could be the greatest player of all time.
He takes it to a different level of conversation in that he's a great pitcher and a great hitter.
But he can run for a big guy, too.
The only other guy who was a great pitcher and great hitter was Babe Ruth, and he quit pitching.
And Babe couldn't steal 50 bases.
Right.
So it's almost like, I feel like Ohtani watching him. He kind of came into this year, and we're getting ready to go, Perk. I don't want to take away from Perk time. But Ohtani kind of came in this year and he said, I want to win the Cy Young. I've hit the most home runs and I've got the MVP. I want to win the other one. And so his numbers, he got off to a real slow start with the bat. Now he's probably still going to hit a ton of home runs and stuff, but he is. And
that reminds me of we have to go a break.
Yeah,
okay,
we got to go here.
Okay, I'll tell the story.
You know what,
It's a
Dave?
messy story, and it's a really interesting one.
Oh, good. Keep that. I want you to tell me that. We got 2 more hours together here, so I want to hear that. But anyway, Chris Perkins going to join us coming up, and we'll talk to Perk. But before we do, we got a lot of stuff going on, and I just want to talk about things that you may be going through in your life. You've been in an automobile accident, motorcycle accident, a slip and fall, and you're trying to make a real difficult decision on which law firm to go with. I like to call them Harvey and Gary, Harvey Cohn and Gary Judah, the partners of Cohn and Judah Injury Law Firm, personal injury attorneys, 30 years of experience, big enough to handle your case all the way through. And by the way, small enough just to call you back. That's how they work. And by the way, there's no handoffs. There's no other lawyers they're going to hand your work off to and then try to go phony baloney and telling you what they've been doing. Big enough, again, to go to trial and get you multi-million-dollar results. Small enough just to call you back. Those are 2 fundamentals that should be important to you. Because when you go to some of these law firms and these guys look good, smooth talking, commercials look great, congratulations. Boy, I'll tell you what, they did a great job for you, but you know what? You find out when you get there and you think, hey, is this guy going to handle my case? Go, no. We got the handoff attorneys in the other room. They've all got 200-300 cases each, and they're real busy, but we're going to put you on there. We think you're going to be very happy. And then all of a sudden you can't get a call back. You want to know how everything's going and all those things. And it's so frustrating to go through. That's why just go with Gary and Harvey. They're going to communicate with you. They're going to work with you. You're going to know how you stand, and they're going to go to work to make sure you get the most money for the injury that you've gone through. Go to ConanJudah.com. Read the reviews. They say great things about them for a reason. Go to call 866-FAIR-FEE. Remember this, whatever you decide to do, don't let other lawyers do the work that you hire them to do. You won't have that with Gary and Harvey.
A low price? You save with your Pricito. Save now with your Pricito at Doral Kia. Carolina Hurricanes scored in overtime, winning 4-3 against the Vegas Golden Knights. The Stanley Cup Final is tied at 1, Game 3 tomorrow at 8. Knicks Spurs play tonight at 8:30 in the NBA Finals with New York up 1-0 in the series. Rays come to town. They're going to be taking on the Fish at 7:10. Ryan Gusto gets the start, and the French Open continues. It's actually going on right now over there at Roland Garros. On to weather. Brought to you by Tornado Roofing and Contracting, replacing roofs, roof repair, maintenance, and hurricane impact windows and doors. Visit tornadoroofing.com. Overcast all day, slight chance of rain, temperatures in the 80s, maybe a little bit more sunny tomorrow. I am Dan Day. Back to the Joe Rose Show here on 104.3 FM, WQAM.
All right, welcome back here on a Friday, 8 o'clock hour. Always great having time with Dave Hyde, and of course, all day Dan Day filling in. And joined this morning by Dolphins columnist for the Sun Sentinel, Chris Perkins. Perk, how you doing, man?
Oh, fellas, I'm doing good. I was just telling Dan Day I don't have to go anywhere today. So I got podcast at noon. I got to write a column later on, but I'm staying home today on this cloudy day.
Hey, Perk, before we get into what you're going to be writing about and talking about on the podcast, I came out this morning and just watching off what the coaches have said and talked about, who's lining up in certain areas, and the way you guys, the guys you're getting, the guys that are being thrown to. I'm about 60. I think I might even be 70% on who's going to be starting for the Miami Dolphins. And I know there's still more days left in the offseason. We still have next week. We still have camp. We have preseason. And I still would tell you I feel pretty good about who's going to start on the defensive line at the tackle positions, the starting 5 on the offensive line, the 2 tight ends, the safety, the 3 starting corners. Even the guys are going to play at wide receiver. Now, outside of the first 2, I'm not sure. I think there's stuff. But you agree, Perk, we still got a pretty good eye who the 1 and 2 quarterbacks are going to be, that we got a pretty good idea at this point, or you still think it's wide open?
No, I agree with you, Joe. Look, this is not going to be a high-quality team, but I think the starters are, I agree with you. The starters are pretty clear at this point. We'll see what happens when the pads come on, but they have a lot of high draftees. They have a lot of, experienced guys for these starting positions. And there's kind of a clear difference between the starters and the reserves, right? So I think that you're correct when you look at some of these guys, when you look at how it goes at corner from Juju Brents and Jason Marshall Jr. and Chris Johnson.
Yes,
right to the rest of the group, right? Ethan Bonner and the rest. Yeah, you're right. You're right from that standpoint. I agree.
All right, who's the receivers? You name the cornerbacks. Do we have receivers?
Yeah, I want to hear this one. This would be good. Yeah.
I would, Malik Washington is definitely going to be a starting receiver. We'll see what happens with Tutu Atwell, who can also be a starting receiver. We'll see what happens with Jalen Tolbert also. Those are the 3 that I think right now that would probably be the starters, even though Malik and Tutu are both kind of slot guys. Kevin Coleman Jr. Is coming up, a rookie draftee. I can't remember the round he was drafted. I want to say maybe the 5th round. I'm most excited about Chris Bell, who is still injured. We'll see what happens with Caleb Douglas. They're both 3rd rounders, but right now I would say that Tutu and Jalen Tolbert and Malik have been the best 3 receivers out there.
Those are the ones that get targeted along with Dulcich all the time. That was
right. Hey, Malik Willis knows where his bread is buttered right now, Joe. He's not dumb.
And I'm going to take it a step further. Coaches can say whatever they want, but whoever the quarterback's throwing to and feels comfortable throwing to, those are going to be the dudes that are playing 3 wide, 4 wide. Those are going to be the guys that they're going to put out there. They're going to be on the same page by the time the season rolls around, with a QB saying, I like going to this guy and I feel comfortable going for the off-season workouts and the whole deal. Hey, by the way, it's really interesting. We talk about Malik Willis, obviously very important, and he's going to be the starting quarterback, but Quinch Ewers has looked really, really good. What do you think?
Yeah, he has. I think he's definitely taken a step up from last season. I think a lot of those draftees, the 2025 draft class has taken a step up We'll see how good they turn out to be. But unfortunately for Quinn, he's got zero chance at being the starter. Zero.
Right.
These guys,
Nope,
Sully and Half, right, John Eric Sullivan, the GM, and Jeff Hafley, the coach, brought Malik Willis from Green Bay for a reason.
That was
They gave
over.
him a 4-year, $67.5 million contract for a reason, and that reason is to be the starter, to be the face of this rebuild. So, and again, that's a critical point, right? This isn't just a season. This is a rebuild. This is the first step in a very important step for Sully and Half. So, yeah, they're going with their guy, unfortunately. But Ewers, he's spinning it out there. He definitely looks like he's taking a step up from his rookie season. So they're if something happens to Malik, I think you can put Quinn Ewers in there and feel fairly confident.
I agree. That's good. Well put. Yes, I agree with
Yeah.
you. Good stuff. Yes.
All right, Perk. We had our first, that I saw anyways, football power rankings out. ESPN put it out.
Right.
Well, that's no surprise.
It's no surprise.
I don't think it's shocking to anybody.
Can it change? I guess that's
We're
my
dead
question.
last is what.
The Dolphins 32nd, Jets 31st, Browns 30th. Can it change this year? Remember, they're working with about less than half the salary cap of any other team.
Right. Yeah, no, it can definitely change. And we don't know what this team is as far as a win-loss record. So, and I stress again, the point of the season is not the win-loss record. Although, I don't want to see a 2 or 3 win season because that's going to raise questions about Sully, Half, and Malik Willis. The point of the season is, do you have the right people in place, starting with Sully, going to Half, going to Malik Willis, and do these players that you have the right attitude? When I talked to Half a couple of days ago, he said the 2 most important things that he's done since he's been hired are culture and establishing a standard. That's what this season is about. So, but having said that, maybe I don't think they're going to be the worst team in the league. And Eric is a candidate for that. There's a couple of, that you mentioned the Jets. I think to me, the standard is 5 wins. And I say that because people want a number, and that's what Flo did in that awful 2019 rebuild. So I think if Flo can do 5 wins, we can expect Half to do 5 wins. But if he doesn't, it's not like, they're going to fire him or anything like that. It's just they didn't get 5 wins. But do you have the right people in place? That's the point of the season.
To me, the standard is what the Patriots did 2 years ago, 4 wins, when they had questions across the board, but they found their quarterback, and then they went out and spent $190 million in the offseason and went to the Super Bowl.
And spin it well.
This is a 2-year rebuild.
Spin it well.
If it works. If it works, it's a 2-year rebuild.
Right. Yeah. I mean, the Patriots did it. Denver turned it around really quickly. Jacksonville has turned it around really quickly. I mean, these things are going on around the league. I mean, you look at Dan Campbell turned Detroit around. That was a multi-year thing, but and maybe they peaked already. But there are 2 and 3 rebuilds, 2 and 3 year rebuilds going on around the league. And that's what I'm looking for the Dolphins. Like, this is your kind of, free pass season, your scholarship season. But next season, you need to start compiling some wins. And again, as I've been telling people, with Malik Willis, the clock is ticking because if he has 2 good seasons, he's going to start wanting $50 million and $55 million a year as a starter, like most of them do. And then instead of having a good amount of money to spend in free agency, the Dolphins will have just the same amount as everybody else. So at that time, you've got to really hope that this draft and develop plan is working, because if not, you're going to be stuck in mediocrity again, quite honestly.
Perk, I got to ask you about the 3 hot names everybody talks about, and I look at you guys sometimes and I go, all right, you feel any better about them? You ready for do you feel any better about them? Grant.
Let's do it.
Grant, defensive.
Yeah, KG, I'll tell you this, Joe. When I look at individual drills and they aren't wearing pads and they aren't doing a lot of active 11 on 11, so this is what you have to judge them on. Kenneth Grant looks good hitting that practice sled and going over the dummies. He looks athletic. He looks aggressive. He looks confident. He looks like a NFL starting defensive tackle compared to last year when he looked like a rookie and he was a little bit sloppy in his technique. Yes, KG looks better in individual drills, definitely.
All right, right guard, Savia Nayak. I'm so tired of hearing about he was the last ranked guard and better right guard so far. What do you think? I know, again, haven't put pads on and all that. Does he look more comfortable?
He looks more comfortable, but I'll be honest, I haven't watched Jonah a whole lot. I've watched KG, I've watched Caden Proctor, I've watched a lot of other interior guys aside from Jonah, but he looks a little bit more comfortable. He looks a little bit better in individual drills, but I'm not sold on Jonah quite yet.
All right, so you heard the comments on the third guy. Hafley talked a lot about chop and different numbers and 9 technique, the 5 inside, up, down, all around, and potential of what this guy can do. Do you feel better about Chop Robinson from what you've seen out there? Bo is not a fan.
Yeah, I still haven't been convinced by Chop. He looks better, but I'm kind of in that Jonah school with him that I haven't really focused on him. When I see him in individual drills, he looks better. He's put on some muscle. He told us he added like maybe 6 or 7 pounds of muscle, but I haven't seen anything from Chop that makes me think, oh, okay, now, he's going to start producing. Look, Chop was a low sack guy his last year at Penn State, and he's been that his first 2 years in the NFL. I don't think that Chop is ever going to be a 10-sack guy. But if he can do what Hafley said and become a complete player, a 3-down player, that helps the Dolphins tremendously. So to me, that's the goal for Chop, be a complete player as opposed to a sack specialist, because I don't think he's ever going to be the 8 to 10 sack a year guy.
I want to ask you about Proctor. We'll finish right here with this one. I'm not worried about him. Matter of fact, I think he's going to be really good between an all-pro center and a guy that's getting better and better at left tackle. I think they're going to be running that left side, and I think he is going to be really good. And he hasn't put the pads on, but he's holding his own out there really well. What do you think?
Proctor's another one that looks good. He looks the role. He does not look fat. He does not look sloppy. He looks agile. He looks in shape. He looks athletic. Good hands, good feet. And one thing that I watched, Joe, at this time of the year with the linemen, when they're doing drills, are the coaches constantly making them redo the drill and constantly telling them about hands and feet? We don't see that with Caden Proctor. We see that with other players. You don't see that with Proctor. Proctor does his drills. It's clean. He gets back to the back of the line. You got to like that from a rookie. So I said I think the floor for Caden Proctor is Juwan James, and I think the ceiling is Laramie Tunsil. I don't think this guy's going to be a bust by any stretch. It's just, will he be a multi-time Pro Bowler? But he's going to be a starter, and he's going to be a good starter, I think.
All right, we're about to say goodbye to the Dolphins for a month, and we know who we always worried about in this month in recent years.
Dave, we can ask him who we're worried about.
Who's the guy you're worried about?
Who's our Tyreek Hills? What he's asking.
Oh man, you know what? I haven't even thought about that. That's a good question. You know what? This seems like a well-behaved team. This is kind of a team.
It does, man. It really does. Like, that's funny.
You might worry about just Proctor, just from this is where he got out of shape. This is where he got out of shape.
I'm not worried about Proctor. I'm not worried about Proctor gaining weight. I don't know why. But
this would be if he can't keep it under control this year, then they got real problems.
Correct.
And
thank you. Right. The opportunity of a lifetime. Like, this is the year out of all of them that you can't get comfortable. Correct. After you've been in the league for a year, maybe. Right. But if he comes back overweight, that's a really, really, really bad sign.
Yeah, no.
We haven't identified any knuckleheads yet.
I think the knucklehead club's gone.
No, the knucklehead. That's my point.
The knuckleheads are gone.
The index. It's all guys trying to make careers right now. Except for obviously a few, veterans who you're not going to worry about at all, anyway. So,
hey, Perk.
Right. Yeah, Jordan Brooks and Brewer. Yeah, they're good. They're good.
Yeah, good leaders. Either one of those guys, and I'll let you run. Either one of those guys or both of them get contracts done before the start of camp.
I think, I don't know. No, I don't think before the start of camp, but I think before the start of the season, they both get them done. Sully seems like a man of substance, and he says that these three guys are the pillars, HN, Brooks, and Brewer. I think all three of them get contracts. We know HN has got his. I think Brooks and Brew definitely get their contracts before the season starts.
Perk, thank you, man. Have a great couple of days off. But you got any time to do a little lady chasing, or are you just going to relax and watch TV? If you don't mind me asking, what are you thinking?
No, I'm gonna do a little lady chasing over the weekend, and then on Wednesday I go to San Antonio to visit family. So I'll watch some NBA finals and hang out with family and do some lady chasing down in San Antonio. So
watch that bad knee while you're chasing those.
Man, it's the arthritic left knee, man. I need knee replacement. I'll be limping. I'll be limping around, but I'll still be chasing.
Hey, Perk, don't worry. Those older ladies are a little easier to catch, man.
Right. They don't move as fast.
Little ladies.
Right.
Hey, Perk, if you need any recommendations, I've been recently giving them to a couple of guys. If you need anything in that Los Olas area where they're loaded down with women from 50 to 65, just waiting for somebody to come through that door and offer to buy them a drink. So just let me know.
I'm going to use your name, Los Olas, Brickell, North Miami Beach, and San Antonio. So you better work in one of those 4 locations, Bill.
All right. Thanks, Perk. Appreciate it, brother. Thank
All right,
you,
man. See y'all.
All right. Hey, listen. Oh, Perk. I liked him when he was all night. Now he's not even to midnight.
Well, now
he's
he's
slowing down too. He's part of the old guy club, man. He's joined us.
Or maybe that's just his image right now. He's trying to clean that up.
He might be. You're right.
Know?
You're right. All right, listen, we're coming off Mental Health Month, and that doesn't mean the problems don't stop. And I get it, man. A lot of guys out there have gone through it, and it's still front and center. It's real. Depression, anxiety, and everything else. And after spending so much time with Dr. Barry, I've really grown to appreciate the work South Florida, the Recovery Unplugged's done. Their mental health residential program in Fort Lauderdale is your private sanctuary to reset. It really is. It's fantastic. It's private. More importantly, you just get yourself back to the way you were. If you're off the road, you want to get back on the road the way things used to be, whatever it is that sets you off, things happen, man. A loss of marriages, loss of jobs, things happen in your life. We've all had it happen, and it's about getting you back to feeling the way you used to. Dr. Barry and his team behind Blend Expert Care with music-based healing, which is unbelievable. This music-based healing is fantastic. In a beautiful, comfortable space. They accept most major insurance plans. Call 954-737-4508 or visit recoveryunplugged.com. Hey, whether you got somebody going through it that you really care about or you're going through it, hey, man, you got to make the call or go to recoveryunplugged.com. Let's heal out loud, even in June.
1043, and you can listen to WQAM on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn app.
This traffic report is brought to you by the Casino at Dania Beach, your home for watching the world's biggest soccer tournament live at Sunrise Stage. The world's biggest soccer tournament is coming to the Casino at Dania Beach. Watch every match live here with daily food and drink specials and free parking. Stay tuned for schedules, special events, and more announcements coming soon. Visit us at CasinoDaniaBeach.com.
We've made it easy to find us. Listen to WQAM on FM 1043 or on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
Wow, that was so easy.
All of our shows are there live or on demand. Plus, there's the cool rewind feature where you can listen to any part of any show you might have missed. Anytime.
If you're listening, whoa.
All right, welcome back, and a good Friday morning to everybody out there. Hope you got great plans. Get some time away from work to relax a little bit. Dave Hyde's with us from the Sun Sentinel this morning. All day, Dan Day. Hardest working man in the business is with us. Woody's got the day off with his children. So Broward and Dade are officially
everybody's
out
done.
of school. Everybody's done.
That's good. No, my wife's off for the summer, and no traffic around the house. You know, we got a lot of school traffic.
So let me ask you, after, and your wife teaches at a very good school, but it's a lot of work. Does she look forward to that time off, or?
Oh yeah.
I mean, all teachers, right, are like, damn.
Yeah, they're like the kids counting down, right?
Yeah.
And
most.
Yes, absolutely. So looking forward to a couple months of of retirement for a couple months.
Yeah, that's good. That's good news of being a teacher right there. National Donut Day. So get out and get your free donut. Krispy Kreme. I don't think there's a lot of Krispy Kreme. I know where one is up in Sunrise, but I don't know where.
There's one on 163rd. At least I'm assuming it's still there. And there's one on 8th Street. I'm assuming it's still there.
Yeah. And then Dunkin' Donut. But Dunkin' Donut wants to let you know it is a free donut, but you got to buy a beverage with it, which is no problem because I live on.
I was going to say, you buy the big one every morning.
Yeah. Got to have a big boy to.
And you might have to ask for it.
Yeah, man. How about that today? The guy didn't even know. It hits me. I'm first guy there, 4 a.m. It opens, lights go on. Same thing I get every day, and the guy never offers that smell of that delicious donut. Anyway,
you there's a part of you that wants to ask for that donut. And a
Yes.
part of you say, if I start, that means every day I'm going to have a donut, right?
Oh, if I start,
You're in.
But you know what? On a donut, nobody can eat just one.
That's the problem.
If you eat one donut, you're probably going to try.
You know who's
two.
emptied out these 2 boxes of donuts here? Is Dan Day admitted during the
Oh no! All day found out date on them yesterday afternoon and said let's do it. So he knew exactly when they got here. And by the way, thank those guys. Who was it again? Who was that?
One of our listeners by the name of Keith. He came by yesterday and brought the 24 donuts.
Yeah. What was the name of the place? We want to pump the guy
Oh,
up. That
absolutely.
was very nice.
The Hollywood Donut and Dandy Donuts. Got 2 different types.
Well, I
the
gotta
Hollywood
tell
Donut
you,
and Dandy Donuts.
Those are donuts with steroids. Those things are loaded.
Deluxe, those were deluxe donuts. Those weren't just donuts.
Those were D's.
You open it, it looks like a cake.
They were. When you pick them up, they're a little heavier. You know, those bad boys are loaded. I got to tell you some of the great smells we talked about early this morning. The greatest smells of all time. When you go to the mall, the pretzel place.
The popcorn pretzel. Yeah.
And in those cinnamon bun places.
They manufacture that smell, don't they? They like fan it
Well,
out
it's
all
powerful.
over.
Yeah. It goes 50 yards each way. I mean, it's like, I'm getting close. You know what? You do this. You want to split one, honey?
We could have a bracket of best smells: new car smell or that mall pretzel smell.
And then I tell you, driving down, the greatest of all the fast food restaurants by itself.
Yeah, I'm with you on this. Popeyes.
Popeyes by itself. The one on 441 where we used to work over there years ago. That thing was.
You're making me.
You turn around, you're like, I don't have one up by my house. Let me just turn around and get a couple of pieces of Popeye's chicken there. You know, it won't hurt anything a little bit. Then you said key lime pie. You said Sun Sentinel's doing something on key lime pie again?
We're doing a rank the best key lime pies in South Florida. So people go online.
Dave, you've been doing this for a long time. You've been nobody's been around South Florida. You live in Dade. You go to the Keys. You're up in Broward speaking to all the people. And by the way, if you need something in Broward County, Dave High would be loved to come up and be your guest speaker.
For a key lime pie.
Hey, give me your 2 favorite places.
Well,
what shows up on the Sunset?
Here's I don't know what's showing up. I don't know that we posted the results yet.
Well, give me your favorites.
Well, my two favorites are, and we agree on the one, Key Lime Factory and Tavernier.
Fantastic.
And
that's Tavernier, huh? Didn't even know where that was.
My other favorites in Coconut Grove. I know what I know. That's why I want to see the results here.
I'm glad you said this. So
it's who comes in Coconut Grove. It's a guy who would make them during the pandemic. Like I said, he would make them and sell them in his front yard. Now he's graduated to a store. And
but he's got the magic touch.
Yeah. And
then we were talking about off Griffin Road.
Yeah,
right off the turnpike.
Know that one. I've had it there, but you're dead right. That's
I'm many. And by the way, they make a lot of other different kind of pies. But listen, you're going there. You're going for the key lime pie. They did that to themselves. Nothing against the other pie. I've tried. My wife goes, well, for the holidays, I'll get 3 or 4. I go, no, just get key lime.
I'm just shocked your family doesn't like key lime pie.
My family does not like them. So when I get one, I just
yours.
take the fork and I don't have to cut them up. It's me. It's my cooties through the whole thing, man.
That's great. My family just.
Well, I tell you what, there's not too many things, but no.
The graham cracker crust is,
But I got to tell you, man, one thing that bothers me about my family, I don't like to talk a lot about my family. They like to be kept private. And don't eat leftovers.
They don't eat leftovers?
And I eat leftovers.
Oh, I eat leftovers.
I got no problem.
Yeah, me neither.
She makes too much, and I'll eat it. I'll eat it for lunch. I'll eat it for dinner. And I go, she goes, I'm going to make something for tomorrow night. Great cook. The wife's a fantastic cook. All world. And I go, no, I'm going to eat the leftovers. She goes, another day? You're not eating them. You make what you want for yourself. But
I'm not proud. I eat leftovers. Yeah.
I got meatloaf. Matter of fact, I got 2 pieces of meatloaf at home right now.
I love meatloaf.
And
do you make it a sandwich out of the meatloaf?
No, I won't do that.
You won't do that.
Just needs to be eaten.
Yeah.
Just warm it up and go.
Okay.
Let's not get carried away. Anyway, Dave, we got Mike Florio going to join us, who always gets it rolling around here in the 9 o'clock hour. And hey, man, Perk's good. Perk's really good on this stuff with the team. I think he's fair. I do. I think Perk does. The podcast at the Sun Sentinel you guys do is great with the Dolphin coverage. Has been really good.
Yeah, they're out there. Him and David Furones out there. Joe, I did want to tell this Messi story. I mentioned this Messi story before. Because I've always been interested why Messi came here, and we knew he was good. How important would it be to him to win here? And there's a book coming out. A guy from the Athletic, a writer, I don't know him, Paul Tenorio. He wrote a book on the Messi's first few. I think it's the Messi effect. But in it, I read an excerpt, and he told a story. Messi, when he first came to Inter Miami, he went to the sporting director, the GM, and sat down, and he said, "Tell me all the trophies I can win here."
Wow.
And so, because this is a new world to him, the MLS.
That's still
so
greatness.
That's so greatness. They went down the list of things he could win. He goes, okay, now I know what I'm shooting for. So that I thought that sort of told a lot about Messi just in that little anecdote of how competitive it is, how it matters to him, how it's not just
he plays that way. He plays that way.
Yeah. And who it reminds me of Wembayama seems a similar. Now he's at the different end of the career, obviously, but Wembayama came here and he goes to the All-Star game and he goes, no, I'm here to win.
Yeah,
and he changed the whole feel of the All-Star game. Now he's in the finals, and a lot of the things he's says are right on message.
So good for the NBA.
Yes.
Everything he's done, even the wild elbows, forget that. It's been great. Everything that guy's doing. Hey, I got to say this about Messi. I think he's a very intriguing guy that we've had here because he's of his greatness, things he's still doing. I have great respect for him. I have great respect. I think he gives him a great product every time he plays. He does things even when he doesn't score, some of the shots he takes or the passes he makes.
He has moments. There's always a half dozen to a dozen messy moments.
For everybody that says, well, the competition, okay, I get the competition. But guess what? Argentina want him back on that team for this World Cup. And he came here. He said, we said, if you don't win, it's a waste, besides the show you bring to everybody and fill up everybody's state. He's done it. You got to be the best player. He's been the best player. He's clearly, once again, the best player. Yeah, and I'd be really interested because I feel like I don't know anything about him.
Well, there you go. There's the problem.
I don't know anything about him, and I think the team can do a better job. And I'm not taking shots at anybody, but so people tell me they believe, and tell me if you agree with this. Messi's here. We don't know anything about him. They just told him to come here. You guys just shut up. He's really good. You're going to get your money's worth seeing the greatest player to ever play the game, and he's still playing great.
Yeah, that's the culture of soccer. The culture of soccer is players don't talk. But that's wrong. Look at Wembanyama. Why do we like him beyond his play? You listen, things like that. No, I'm here to win in the All-Star game. Things he has done showed you his personality of who he is.
Yeah.
And you don't get that from Messi. And that's unfortunate, You don't get it from really not too many soccer
But I will
players.
tell you, when you go to a game at their new park, it's a great show. It's a great show.
It's a nice park. Yeah.
If everybody's to be honest, they're there. I don't know what the percentage is. A lot of people are there to see him. I don't want to say everybody. Some will go, I'm just going to go no matter who's playing. But a lot of people are going to go, I want to see the greatest of all time.
Yeah, I think we got over the lack of chanting and the fans boycotting.
Yeah,
I think we got over that
right away.
But Dave, you've been to the new stadium, right?
Yeah.
80% of the people there to see Messi score a goal. That's their number one thing. They don't care about winning.
Yeah.
And the press box, Dave, is not a press box.
No,
they're cheering, they're yelling.
It's a
that's
European
why it should
press
be.
Box. Yeah,
it's great.
No,
I
press
go
box
crazy.
shouldn't be cheering.
Press box shouldn't be cheering.
One of my guys, man. Hell yeah. I don't care. Say something to me. I'm a man.
What
are
you doing in the press box?
It is kind of a funny place in the Inter Miami press box. And I have, because half of it are serious, sober, working journalists like me, and the other half are I don't know where they're from, but they're like cheering the whole game.
All right, hey, we got to go to break here. That's a great story about Messi.
Yeah, I thought that.
Can we get that guy on with the book? I'd love to talk to that guy. I think that's.
I don't know, but we could find him. I'm sure he's.
You can track him down because you do the book. All you guys have done like a whole bunch of books. Like you.
Anybody who wrote a book, I appreciate. And
how many have you written? 5.
Well, it depends on how
6.
you count them. Probably 4 or 5, depending on how you count.
Name them right now.
Oh God. So
don't do
72
God
Dolphins.
book.
I'm trying 72 Dolphins, 68 Ohio State team, which was really a profile of Woody Hayes.
Okay.
I did Jimmy Johnson.
Did you do a Dan Marino book?
I did it was a picture. It was a coffee table book, but yeah, I did a Dan Marino book and
was that the Hall of Fame time?
Yeah, it was right after, somewhere around the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
That, spent a lot of time with Dan and a lot of things I didn't know, which were fascinating.
Yeah. No, that's good stuff, man.
I did another one, but I can't remember. Oh, Bob Greasy book too.
Well, geez, man, just did all. That's awesome.
Yeah, I did. It's kind of funny. I did Jimmy, Greasy, Marino. Some of the big names, and got to know them. Jimmy, of course, I would go down and have a beer and
you
the
and Jimmy
keys
are different. Zeke key lime pie, Jimmy.
I know eat Mexican
every night. The guy loves Mexican food like I do. One thing I miss about my dad and going back home, man, is every restaurant's Mexican in our hometown. Hey, we got more stuff to get to. 9 o'clock hour is coming up. We're going to have a lot more for you because Mike Florio is going to join us from Pro Football Talk. Hey, get ready to make it a real good time at Lone Depot Park starting tonight. The Citrus Series starts with the Rays. Go all through the weekend. You got $1 hot dogs presented by Salen's, 90s Night presented by Coors Light, SpongeBob Day, Pride at the Park, and more deals going on, plus special ticket packages, including exclusive merchandise. Don't miss it, man. Get your tickets now, marlins.com/tickets. And don't miss, after that 3-game series, I have a day off, and then the Diamondbacks will be here for 3 games. scored great. They got my favorite deal. Bring your crew. We got the 4 for $44 presented by Pepsi. You get 4 tickets with hot dogs, popcorn, and drinks, all for just $44. Best deal they have. Best deal, and they got a lot of great deals. That department over there, promotions department, just does a fantastic job. Hey, Marlins baseball home for 6 starting tonight.
WQAM broadcast.
Biggest soccer tournament is coming to the casino at Dania Beach. Watch every match live here with daily food and drink specials and free parking. Stay tuned for schedules, special events, and more announcements coming soon. Visit us at casinodaniabeach.com.
We've got plenty of ways for you to listen to your favorite shows and favorite teams on WQAM.
How is that, if I may ask?
We're at FM 1043, or you can listen to WQAM on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps. Check it out now.
Hey, welcome back here on a Friday, almost a 9 o'clock hour. Can't mess up at 9 o'clock hour. Everybody knows that, man. No chance of that. We got Dave Hyde from the Sun Sentinel all day, Dan Day. Woody's got the day off. Spent a little time with the boys today. And then, man, we've got all kinds of stuff. We're just talking about World Cups right around the corner. We're going to start having a lot of games. That's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to that. I really am. People, well, you don't talk, like I say, well, I'm not crazy about soccer in general, but the World Cup is cool. Scotland, Brazil, Colombia, and honestly, I get a little Portuguese in me. I like Colombia and Portugal coming to town.
I want it to start, because then you start talking about the games and the crowds and maybe
everywhere.
the moments, as opposed to right now we're talking ticket prices. They're not allowing water bottles to be brought into all this stuff that FIFA and
wants to make sure they get the money.
They want to make sure the money. $10,000 I think for a final ticket is what it's going for. Now, how do you compare that to the Knicks Game 3 finals in Madison Square Garden? Yesterday afternoon, I looked. I don't know what it is now, but yesterday afternoon, the cheapest ticket was $7,500. That was in the upper deck where you have an overhang seat. So
those people have waited a long time. They got an unbelievable fan base. 12 straight playoff wins. They're looking like they got a real good chance to win this better. San Antonio was a slight favorite when this thing started, but man, the numbers they're putting up. We talked to start the show this morning. They've outscored their opponents in this 12-game winning streak. And by the way, this is playoff winning streak. They're not during the year, by 272 points. Just incredible. They got numbers on out rebounding, 3-point shooting. It's all come together. And I think he's one of the great clutch shooters of all time. And hey, you want to come see it, Jalen Brunson, what he has done.
The interesting thing of the NBA, the last two MVPs, SGA, he was traded by the Clippers. They didn't think he was anything. Jalen Brunson traded left Dallas. Oh. And they didn't think, obviously.
They didn't give him a good enough offer to stay.
Yeah, and so, once in a while, there are guys who move in the NBA, but nobody thought Jalen Brunson was going to. I'm sure the Knicks thought, he's a nice player, but
it doesn't matter. It makes you can say that, but the Mavs and the Clippers look like crap.
Yes.
When guys go other places, and they're not just good players, but two guys we're talking about are great players.
Best in the league players. They're right there.
Maybe the two biggest clutch players, the best closers in basketball. You might have named the two guys.
Yeah.
And you let him go. You didn't sign. You didn't think enough of him. You tell me what Brunson's worth right now. He's playing in the biggest lights. By the way, you want to talk about microscope under a team every night. Hello, New York Knicks.
And he's carrying them. I mean, it's not like look, Towns is a nice. He's thrown off some of the questions about him too on this run.
Great.
And Josh Hart is a guy you'd love on your team.
Everybody wants one of those
effort,
guys.
Rebound.
Everybody but Jimmy Butler, who just didn't like him. Yeah,
but Brunson is the guy who, in their biggest moments, has his biggest moments. And I'd be curious to go back, if you're in Dallas or in the Clippers organization, what was said that we didn't see this.
Look, we know it firsthand. You hate when you let somebody go in their prime years. We're talking about two guys in their prime. You let go. You didn't think you didn't offer them enough money. And now you have to watch him win championships. And they were both. He should have been playing for the Clippers. Somebody had a real bad take on that one. And
because he was involved, him and
And George,
two
Paul,
or three draft picks.
And Paul George
went with the Paul George trade.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just
still bad though. Still,
it
didn't get a whole pass because it's Paul George.
Bad, yeah.
And I'm in love with his stripper. It has not, it's a different deal. There's no question. No question. Hey, we've got the 9 o'clock hour coming up here. We have Mike Florio will get caught up. It's Ram stories, just unbelievable. I think everybody's kind of looking and go, wow, they gave Trent McDuffie a ton of money and new contract. Myles Garrett's getting a new contract. They just gave their quarterback and made him look like he's getting paid like he should as an MVP. He got big money. You got all these contracts because they hit on a couple of draft classes, and now those contracts are coming up for a couple of really talented draft classes. Like, how are they going to pay for all this? And we find out they're in great shape with the cap next year.
That's what crushes you.
Great story,
right now,
man. Great story.
They're $18 million under the cap right now, and next year they're in the 5th best shape of any team in the league. Now it's going to change. It's early. New contracts have to be written. But the point is, it's not like they're, $8 million over the cap for next. Sort of like the Dolphins. You knew their cap trouble was coming.
Did you see the other part of that story going on? Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
One of the great defensive players of all time at defense. He's only 35 years old.
He
retired a couple years.
Can he do this?
Says he wants to come back. He stays in unbelievable shape.
His wife put on social media, y'all are kidding. It was like a joke, like you're kidding, right? In other words, she wasn't on board with this. So, but he put out a picture on social of him working out.
Well, he works out like a maniac. That's his
Can he do that? Can he take 2 years off? Has it been 2 years?
I don't know.
And come back at age 35?
I don't know. Things got injury bug written all over it if you play too much.
But what if he says, I'll come back 15 plays a game? 15 plays a game of Aaron Donald opposite Myles Garrett? You'd take that in a second, wouldn't you?
It'd be fun to watch.
They're already the number one
LA
team
loves
right
stars to start with. They'd be getting another one back. What a hell of a story that would be. Hey, 9 o'clock hour is coming up here. I want to tell you about Atlantic Men's Clinic. You knew it was coming, baby. I'm going down to Atlantic Men's Clinic today. Hello, everybody. How you doing? They're the nicest people. So good at what they do when you go to Atlantic Men's Clinic. It's just great. Hey, look it, guys, you're going to go through low T and ED. It's just a fact. Every guy gets it. There's no guy out there that's going through life and saying, you know what, I never had low T or ED. It happens. Father time takes over. Your energy level slows down. You're not as active. Start gaining some weight. You start to age because now all these things happen. Still eating the same way, but you're not active. You gain 20 pounds. And then ED usually follows, where your sex drive is hit and miss, and then it's just gone. It got so bad I was sprinting home to beat my wife after we go out to fall asleep early so she wouldn't, tap me on. I go, oh, I'm super tired. Look at, man, it's terrible to go through, but you can do something about it. Atlantic Men's Clinic works. I had such great results. I'm 2.5 years, 2 years and 2 months in that area right now. I got the PSA test. I met with their professional staff. They explained everything to me. Everything. It made sense. And I got great results. And it happened fast. And they got 7 locations in South Florida to serve you. Brand new location in Hollywood. I go to Plantation on my way there right after work today. And it's a pleasure to go in there. The people are nice. They're knowledgeable. They ask you how you're doing. They police your program to make sure you're doing everything the right way. And, man, I'm telling you want to get your energy level and your sex drive back. And you don't have to tell anybody. Listen, we don't go around. Guys don't tell each other about this, but it's a fact. 877-455-7300. Set up that first appointment. You'll see. You'll be so glad you did. Say, Joe Rose really come here? And Joe said to give you guys a call. Visit AtlanticMen'sClinic.com. It works.
If it's going down, you know we on it.
Miami, Fort Lauderdale, WQAM AM Miami, and Odyssey Sports Station. The home of champions, home of the five-time national champion Miami Hurricanes, the back-to-back Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers, the three-time NBA champion Miami Heat, Miami Hurricanes basketball, and now the new home of the two-time World Series winner Miami Marlins.
Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys.
Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
In Miami, at a Domino's game, you'll always find your abuelito. And whenever you want a low price, you save with your Pricito. Save now with your Pricito at Doral Kia. Knicks Spurs tonight, 8:30 NBA Finals. New York up 1-0 in the series. Carolina Hurricanes, they got an overtime 4-3 win against the Vegas Golden Knights. Stanley Cup Final tied at 1. Game 3 tomorrow at 8. And the Rays are in town trying to end a 4-game road losing streak. The Fish are going to throw. Ryan Gusto starts at 7:10. On to weather. Brought to you by Tornado Roofing and Contracting, replacing roofs, roof repairs, maintenance, and hurricane impact windows, doors. Visit tornadoroofing.com. It's overcast, but not supposed to be too rainy today with temperatures in the 80s. It's supposed to be more sunny tomorrow. I am Dan Day. Now back to the Joe Rose Show here on 104.3 FM WQAM.
Hey, welcome back here for the 9 o'clock hour all day. Dan Day, thank you so much. As always, great having them with me. We've been together a long, long time. And, of course, Dave Hyde, columnist for the Sun Sentinel, with us this morning. Man, there is a lot of stuff going on. We're going to get into some of that stuff with Mike Florio. What a crazy Monday it was. We used to be just kind of get your cap back in place and, you know, and now all of a sudden we have some big old trades that took place with Myles Garrett and obviously A.J. Brown and all that. So we'll talk to Mike Florio about some of that stuff. Then the incredible story is the Rams being in responsible cap.
Crazy. I couldn't believe that.
I can't believe what they have next year with all the money they're spending.
And they drafted their quarterback of the future. Obviously, they think he is.
I got to see it to believe it, but they believe it. You can't argue with them.
Yeah, they've proven they get all benefit of the doubt with some of their moves. They've all worked out. They did what the Dolphins tried to do, and we're going to trade draft picks and win now. And they did it. They won the Super Bowl. Now they're trying to do it again.
Dave, I tell you, we've been doing this a long time, and until you get a GM and a head coach on the same page and what your jobs are and what your responsibilities, and you can trust each other and get a good relationship, and one respects one and the other one respects what they're doing, and until you get that, and by that comes the right scouts, the whole thing in the front office. Until you get that right, you can't win.
There's something we haven't talked about locally, because I agree with you. To me, the GM, and by saying his name, all the scouts and all that, his department is the most important in any pro organization.
But he's got to hire that. He has got to hire the next guy.
Yeah, the coach. Is that what you're saying? Yeah, absolutely. They got to be on the same page. But the GM, that's why I think the Dolphins did it right for the first time.
In a long time.
They got them both on the same timeline, the coach and GM, and they hired the GM first. And this week, he announced big changes in the scouting department. 10 of the 19 people are different from a year ago.
I saw your great
positions.
article on that, breaking it down.
To me, because I was told when they fired Chris Greer and his two top assistants last season, okay, this isn't just going to be a run-of-the-mill, we're going to replace these guys and we're going to do the whole thing. And this, you know, we heard about the GM, obviously, the coaching staff, the roster, how they're going about eating salary. But this was the final step to me, that they went and they redid a scouting department that's just had become stale in the last couple decades. A lot of new people.
They kept a couple.
Oh,
but listen, I give him credit because he wanted to see them work.
Yeah.
He wanted to see that they're buying in the way he's learned to do it through Green Bay and his job there. And so, but it's just,
he didn't just come in. I mean, Sullivan didn't just come and say everybody's bad in this.
No.
He watched it where, okay, this guy, obviously Couple guys have big roles still with them, and these are so. But the point is, everything for the first time in the organizations was looked at and decided, okay, that we can win with this moving forward. So now whether they can or not, I don't know. But I like the process of.
Well, it wasn't working going with your own people.
Yeah,
that should never happen. Never. You're keeping people 25 friggin' years, and you don't win a playoff game. You keep a GM, and you haven't won a playoff game, and like it's incredible. Like it. I don't want to go back, and I'm trying really hard not to keep talking, but it's just. So yes, I feel like we finally got it right. Hey, Dave, we're going to go to break, and we'll get going with Mike Florio coming up next, and we'll talk to him. Real quickly, though, I want to let you know something really cool is coming up, and I say this to men all the time. As we get older, we get pretty stubborn about this, and we make a big mistake. And because think about it, you handle everything, your work, your family, your life, but when was the last time you handled your own health? And guys are guilty getting bad news. They get older, getting hit with stuff that should have never hit them. On June 14th, join Baptist Health at the Men's Health Summit in Doral, screening, expert advice, real conversations that matter. Enjoy food, grooming, screenings, prizes, and connect with men taking control of their health. No excuses, no guesswork, just action. Alonzo Mourning, boy, the message is so fantastic. I could listen to that guy every day of the week. Register now for the Baptist Health Men's Health Summit in Doral. Visit baptisthealth.net/Zotime. Hope to see you there.
The Joe Rose Show.
Stack Up this morning in Miami-Dade. The traffic report is brought to you by the Casino at Dania Beach. Slow moving along the Palmetto southbound from Miami Lakes Drive to 103rd Street. Also slow moving along the Dolphin Expressway eastbound from Lejeune Road to the northwest 17th Avenue and out of Broward. You're seeing a lot more traffic on the roadways, I-595 eastbound, right as you approach that turnpike as you exit I-95 heading northbound. That's traffic. I'm Elia Escobar on FM 104.3, and you can listen to WQAM on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn app.
This traffic report is brought to you by the Casino at Dania Beach, your home for watching the world's biggest soccer tournament live at Sunrise Stage. The world's biggest soccer tournament is coming to the Casino at Dania Beach. Watch every match live here with daily food and drink specials and free parking. Stay tuned for schedules, special events, and more announcements coming soon. Visit us at CasinoDaniaBeach.com.
Cool ways to listen to us.
Okay, I'd like to hear them then.
On FM 104.3 or on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps. Same great shows, same great games. Plus, you can use the rewind feature and listen to anything you missed. Go for it.
All right, it's Friday. What do we have Friday in the 9 o'clock hour? That would be Mike Florio from Pro Football Talk, joining us to talk about one of the wildest June 1st dates we've ever had, where once again the NFL said everything else got to slow down. We're going to be the lead story again with this Myles Garrett trade. Good morning, Mike. And that surprised you a little bit that all of a sudden what that's turned into with a couple of big trades?
Well, we all knew that the A.J. Brown trade was coming, and it was to the point where it had become so obvious. I'm starting to think, is that not going to happen? Like, is this going to be some big letdown? And then as we were waiting for that to finalize, out came the news that Myles Garrett had been shipped to the Rams. There had been some bubbling about it. And really the biggest clue came back in March when the Browns and Garrett redid his contract to delay a $29 million payment that was due March 15. That was delayed until 7 days before the start of the regular season. That made the contract tradable, specifically after June 1, when the cap charge could be divided over 2 years. And here come the Rams doing the things the Rams like to do. Amazing. Go all in, F them picks, and load up the cannon and go try to close the gap between themselves and the Seahawks and win another Super Bowl. The first time it's back at SoFi Stadium since the last time they won it. They're going to try to play in their home stadium again and win another Super Bowl.
Mike, you know what's amazing about this deal? I didn't know until Dave Hyde's with us this morning. We're just talking about they're in great cap position next year again, even though they Myles Garrett, they redid the contract. Trent McDuffie got a big contract. Matthew Stafford's got a big contract for this year. They got to redo a bunch of young, talented guys they drafted. I mean, they're in great position to run this, not just back one time, but they put themselves, their GM and head coach really did a good job for the future as well.
Yeah, and I think when you see teams that aren't taking advantage of the fact that the cap keeps going up and up and up by overdoing it and not accounting properly, you can find yourself in a position where you've always got that buffer, you've always got that room, and that's the reality. The cap keeps going up and up and up, and we get amazed by the numbers that the players make, but the big picture is that cap has gone up dramatically just in the last 5 years, and that's more money for everyone to try to put a competitive team together. And the Rams' willingness to strategically sacrifice high-level picks, unproven players for proven players who are going to be more expensive, and they find a way to make it work from a cap standpoint, that ends up being a win. And one reality, too, and we broke down the details of the revised deal that Myles Garrett did with the Rams. They didn't give him a raise per se. They gave him more money this year, but a lot of it is just moving money around that he was already due to make over the next 5 years. It's not like his APY has gone up from 40 to 50 as it should have. He basically took the same deal he had with the Browns through 2030 and just shuffled some money around, and it's still the same contract. And I think that's a reflection of his glee at getting out of Cleveland.
The other winner besides Myles Garrett going to, probably the contender has to be Chris Shula this offseason, the Rams defensive coordinator, last name down here, but gets McDuffie, as Joe mentioned, gets Jalen Watson, the other Chiefs cornerback. And all of a sudden the defense that was looked under talented last year, are they the best defense talent-wise in the league right now?
I'm not sure I'd go that far simply because the defense wasn't spectacular last year, and they did have to give up Jared Verse to get Myles Garrett. So it's not just like plugging in Garrett. You're you're getting a net gain over however much better Garrett is than Verse right now, but you're also losing what Verse could become over the long haul because he's 5 years younger than Garrett. But it's going to help Shula. I remember when Dick Vermeil was inducted into the Hall of Fame, at his speech, he said, I became a much smarter coach when I got Marshall Faulk. And for Shula, who got a close look from the Steelers, it's only going to boost his chance to become a head coach in the next cycle. If the Rams win the Super Bowl, or if they're in it or deep into the playoffs, he's going to be a guy who gets serious consideration. That's just the way it goes. That's how we as the media start flagging candidates, and that's how the owners identify candidates. So, yeah, this is a big win for Chris Shula.
Mike, what about Aaron Donald? You buy that he's coming back? Or you more with the wife going, he's not coming back? I don't know where this is coming from. Boy, I'll tell you what, you add him, I don't know what he's going to look like. He stays in great shape, but 35 years old.
Well, 35 years old, but he didn't play the last 2 years, so he's got less wear and tear than he would have if he had been playing continuously since 2014, the year that he was drafted. He told Pat McAfee, it gets you thinking. And the other reality is he needs to relight the fire. He got burned out. But if he got burned out because he was constantly facing double and triple teams, if you take that off the table now and you put that attention on Myles Garrett, there could be at some level, as Aaron Donald processes all the different factors, and it's a big commitment to give up your life to your football team for 7 months. That's the main focus of everything you do from the moment training camp opens. So for him to sit back and say, I could do it one time without being constantly harassed by multiple players, and I may be able to do the things I was never able to do before, that could lure him back. But, yeah, he's got to be self-aware. I see those videos of him working out, though. He still looks like the same guy.
Wow.
Right? But 2 years off is 2 years off, and that would not be easy to jump back in to football after not playing at all for 2 years.
Here's the odd thing about this trade to me is that Cleveland lost a generational player, and yet I like what Cleveland did. I mean, they got, as you said, Jared Verse, great player, and draft picks for the future. Am I crazy for thinking that, or is it?
They got a hit on him.
Well, here's the reality. Myles Garrett had 23 sacks last year, if you haven't heard. All-time single-season record. And what did it do for the Browns? They were 5-12.
Yeah.
So this was the time. And, last year when he made his big pitch Super Bowl week to get a trade, Chris Sims and I on PFT Live, we both said right away, well, they should trade him. This is the time to take that asset. And the Browns are the ultimate analytics team, even though it hasn't worked for them. But you strip the name off the back of the jersey, you forget what the guy has done, and you ask yourself, what can we get right now for this player? What does he add to our team right now? What will he be adding to our team if and when we ever get to the point where we're competitive? And I think it's a no-brainer that you maximize the value and you move on now. You get a younger guy in Jared Verse, who knows what he's going to become. And they've been doing well with their draft picks in recent years. So it makes sense for the Browns. And here's another wrinkle, too. I haven't written this yet. I've written it in big picture terms, but NBC Sports Research provided me with the data. Myles Garrett last year, when he got 23 sacks, the Browns were leading only 1/3 of the time in their games.
Oh, wow.
The Rams were leading 2/3 of the time in their games. So what does that mean for Myles Garrett in the second half if the Rams are up 2 scores? That means the other team's going to be trying to pass the ball, more obvious passing situations. Myles Garrett, more sacks potentially with the Rams than he had with the Browns. I mean, really, have the Browns ever been a team during his decade in the NFL that they're blowing people out? He can just go out there and tee off and pick up 2 or 3 late sacks. So that's another reason why he's very happy to move on. And I think it is a rare situation where you can call it a win-win.
Mike, the Russell Wilson situation, not that he's decided for now at least to retire and join the CBS team over there for the pregame show, but Hall of Fame quarterback, everybody's brother's putting up that plays till they're 36 to 38, putting up big numbers. He's got a Super Bowl championship, should have 2. Does Russell Wilson get in, and maybe not even first ballot in 5 years, does he get in ever into the Hall of Fame?
Well, my view of the Hall of Fame, and not that I was ever a big fan of that whole process, because I think that the voting is flawed and it's undermined by stupid little petty things that keep guys out, like Terrell Owens when he was kept out, and then the arguments that they tried to make publicly about why they kept him out. I don't like any of it. And Bill Belichick not getting in made it worse. Say what you will about Bill Belichick now at North Carolina. He should have been in. And the fact that he isn't in, I think, is a stain on the Hall of Fame that may never go away. All that said, with Russell Wilson, you got to ask yourself this: where does he rank among his peers when he was playing? And I asked Devin McCourty, whose career overlapped for the most part with Russell Wilson. And McCourty played for the Patriots against Wilson in a Super Bowl. He puts Wilson at the second tier of the guys in his career. I don't know that second tier is good enough to get to the Hall of Fame ever. I think all the first tier guys have a shot. I don't think the second tier guys get in. He put him with Andrew Luck. And we know Andrew Luck's not getting in part because Andrew Luck retired early. The other thing that's going to hurt Russell Wilson, it's the full body of work. And Shireen Williams, who works with us at PFT and has been a Hall of Fame voter forever, she made the point late in Eli Manning's career that if he hangs around too long, he's going to hurt his chance to get in. You can't just say we're only going to look at the good years. If you stick around and tarnish what you've done, that becomes a problem. And you could argue from 2022 through 2025, Russell Wilson tarnished everything he did in the 10 years before that.
What? Then I'll follow up with this one. Phillip Rivers. I know he's got to wait now again because he came back and played, but does he ever get in? He put up big numbers, but that's it.
Yeah, he never played in a Super Bowl.
No.
Had that one AFC championship game that he played with a torn ACL, which is admirable, but he didn't get to the Super Bowl. And there's just too many other viable candidates. And you have to ask yourself, what is the bar to get in the Hall of Fame? I'm a believer that the only people who should be in the Hall of Fame are the ones where you don't even need a debate. You just say the person's name, you drop the mic, and you walk out of the room. Everybody knows this person's getting in. When you get into this cluster of, okay, should we put this person in, what's the standard here, what's the standard there, and you got all different shapes, sizes, and positions of players, it's just a very difficult process. You could argue, as Deion Sanders has, that too many have gotten in. And you know what that's caused, which I think is the wrong reaction. The Hall of Fame has gone the other way and made it harder to get in. No, you don't change the standard. You've already got an institution that has the bar at a certain spot. You don't solve the problem of too many people in the Hall of Fame by raising the bar and making it harder to get in going forward, unless you're going to take out some of the busts. So I've argued they should just have like an upper room of the Hall of Fame where it's the best of the best ever. Let the Hall of Famers decide who that is. The Deion Sanders upper room, we've argued for that ever since Deion Sanders made his case. But long story bearable, I don't think Phillip Rivers should get in, especially now that they seem to be even more sensitive about letting people in who maybe shouldn't be there.
All right, Mike, the A.J. Brown trade, which team did more to solve its problems? New England by getting a receiver or Philadelphia by getting rid of him from the locker room?
Well, I think both, because the situation in Philadelphia had reached a point where it couldn't continue. The fact that the Eagles were able to get a first-round pick and a fifth-round pick for a guy that didn't want to be there any longer, a guy that they no longer wanted, and a guy for whom there was no other trade partner, if you don't have a viable argument to make that you want to keep the guy, that we're not trading him, what leverage do you have in trade talks if there's only one team? There was one team because no one was going to give up anything significant to get A.J. Brown if he didn't want to go there. Even without a no trade clause, there are certain players that you better be damn sure they want to play for you before you make that investment. It reminds me of what the Browns did when they traded for Odell Beckham Jr. and Beckham didn't even know it was going down. That didn't work out because Beckham didn't want to be there. And no one was going to trade for A.J. Brown other than the Patriots. So to get what they did was incredible. But for the Patriots, for a short period of time, 2 years, 3 years max, they get a guy who comes in and revolutionizes their receiving depth chart. He gives Drake May a legitimate number one option. It all comes down to how much gas A.J. Brown has left in the tank. He turns 29 on June 30. The Rams were scared off of a potential trade in March because they looked at the medical records and there was a knee thing that bothered them. A.J. Brown has since acknowledged that and said his knees are fine. But what do you expect? Really, any of us would say that. Let's see how he plays. Let's see how he holds up. But, this could be another win-win. I still think the Patriots could have driven a harder bargain because at the end of the day, I think the Eagles had to move A.J. Brown. And the only thing the Eagles could have done, and this may be why they got the 1 and the 5, the Eagles could have slowed this down and it would have kept A.J. Brown from being in the Patriots offseason program for 3 weeks and getting himself up to speed so he can hit the ground running in training camp in a brand new offense.
Hey, Mike, I'll leave you with this one, this Brandon Ayuk situation. I didn't even know if you put a video out on YouTube and it shows you going 104 miles an hour in a 40-mile-an-hour zone that you can have a warrant out for your arrest. So that was new to me. But what's going to happen? By the way, he's just done some weird stuff since disappearing from the 49ers for a team that gave him so much money. He's obviously got some other issues. I just not acting normal if you want to play football. What's your take on the whole situation with Brandon Ayuk?
Well, as it relates to the warrant for his arrest, I mean, we all know the saying, anything you say can and will be used against you. I mean, if you provide the evidence to the prosecution of the crime, like, you know, they're going to act on it. Even if they weren't out there with a radar detector as you were driving past, they're going to bust you for that. But the whole thing with Ayuk, and, you know, if we look at this just generally speaking, I don't like that the 49ers are just hanging on to this guy. They know they're not going to keep him. His salary's not guaranteed this year. They're not going to let him be on the roster week 1. That's when his salary would become guaranteed. They don't want him anymore, but they're trying to get something, anything for him. And I think they feel justified in taking a hard line because they paid him so much money and they got like 6 or 7 games out of it before he tore his ACL. And then he ghosted the team. He didn't properly rehab. They're not going to get anyone to trade for him because to trade for him, you would have to get him and his agents to negotiate a new contract because no one's taken on that contract. So I think the 49ers are twisting the screws a little bit just because they can, just because they feel like they should, because they're upset with how Brandon Ayuk handled himself, and they're upset with themselves for giving him so much money that they got nothing out of.
Mike, I tell you, it's a wild one. It's another wide receiver special. Hey, thank you so much. Appreciate you coming on this morning. Take care. Have a great weekend, Mike. Guys. You too.
See you.
All right, Mike Florio from Pro Football Talk. We got more stuff. Speaking of football, we're going to have Chris Perkins from the Sun Sentinel join us, talk a little bit about Dolphins and minicamp. Dave Hyde and I will be with you. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this.
The Joe Rose Show is presented